All right. So let me just do a quick intro here. Welcome to Digicord Radio number 4. I am Will the Dill. We are again today with Edubs, of course. And today we are joined by the man himself, the legend, the guy who made the first spin off of Digicord and the first big splinter, Ohaiyo Nation. And his name
I
is
ruined
Whatta.
everything.
Welcome, Whatta.
I broke it
This
all.
This is the first time we talk in any serious capacity. Well, actually, the first time we talked ever, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and
See,
yeah, I'm
see,
very
I
excited.
actually reacted to that, right? Because when you said in the first podcast of this, I was listening. I was like, yeah, I never talked to one. I was like, bullshit. I've talked to everyone. And then I sat there thinking for a bit. I was like, actually, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking
You know,
no.
it's weird. Ohio Nation has always been like some weird people for me. It's like I knew Tangelo and I knew
Yeah.
Mickey, and like that's it.
Oh yeah, that's also.
I don't know who else was in Ohio Nation and what's going on over there. I just know that they're like really chill dudes and they
That,
like to hang out.
That's so fucking funny too, right? Because in that episode, you're like, "Oh, Edubs, you have this special power. You have this unique ability to tell the story of Ohio Nation." And then Edubs is literally like the newest person in that server, right? And then
Yeah.
on your next episode, you have Tangelo, an OG member, and then you have Miki, who's been in there for 2 years. And then, and then, like, by the time I get on, what the fuck is there left to say? Like.
Well, you're a main guy, so I
Fair.
guess we can get more into it. So
True.
from what I get here, you're from Sweden, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Sweden. So far on this podcast, we got what we got. Canada, French Canada, and so Quebec. So that makes two country in one, and then we have Edubs, Miki, and Tangelo, which are all Americans, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
who are Swedes. So
Yep.
three countries now.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
okay. All right. One day we'll make the whole globe. All right.
Oh no, you won't. You'll never get a North Korean, dude.
Not a North Korean, but we can get an Asian. We can
North
get
Korean
Kodo on.
Digicord member, Pog.
Dude, let's be honest. Kodo might as well be North Korean. So yeah, we'll just get
You guys-
Kodo on.
you
and
guys
that
were
works.
Kodo
shitting
is
on that
not
guy.
North Korean.
You were shitting on that guy so much on the Miki episode. I was just sitting there like, I feel bad for this person who I don't know anything about. Like, man, poor
Oh.
guy.
Do you really not know Kodo?
I don't fucking know what that is.
Kodo is this Malaysian guy.
Our
He's
resident
pretty funny.
capybara.
Yeah,
Look.
he's pretty funny.
I'm a massive fan of sumo wrestling, like, right? Like that is like my main thing I like, except for anime. So when I hear Kodo, I think of Kodo Eiko, Kodo no Waka, Kodo. There's a whole fucking bunch of them now. There's fucking a million Kodo Shogiku. Like
Right.
Like I
Well,
think of all the fucking sumo wrestlers called Kodo. It's like a legendary first part of a name in sumo wrestling.
all right. Well, you know what? I'll just tell you about Kodo right real quick. He's a
Okay, good.
Malaysian guy. He lived in Dublin at first when like in the first year I was in Digicord.
Oh yeah.
He lived in Dublin, like he's studying there. But then of course COVID-19. Now he's back in Malaysia, and he's like this really. He sees the world really black and white, right? And everything is like, well, this is this because of this, and so if in Gunbuster we see Japanese students get trained to go to war and go to war, then it must be imperialist propaganda, and so Gunbuster is cringe. That's how he thinks, and
Dude, I want this guy to analyze fucking Kankol, dude. That's what I
So-
want.
And then he's also pretty famous in chat for being himself.
Right.
Just
Oh, fuck.
as an example, here's a little snippet of a chat from a little while ago when Guns was the mod. Kodo says
Oh,
the
yeah.
server only has Canadian, U.S., German, Russian, and then I say no, and then
Yeah,
and then
Guns
I
is
say
like
the
Colombian,
fucking
right?
fucking admin is from Venezuela, Kodo,
Oh yeah.
and then he says that sounds like it's from Russia.
all right, we could spend a whole podcast just quoting Kodo and
Oh
laughing
yeah,
at
no,
it.
we shouldn't do
I,
that.
I'll just read one more because it was really
fuck.
funny and it happened like yesterday. It was I will look like a pedo if I actually talk to a preschool girls. And I'm not good at talking, which makes it worse. Also, I find it ironic that I watch children's shows and like lollies/shota, but have no remorse towards real children.
Remorse. The word remorse? What the fuck? I think he means attraction, right?
He's also very ESL, like very much so.
Oh. You know, I used to get accused for being ESL, but actually I'm just a fast typer who fucks up. Like that's pretty funny. Like I think it's pretty funny because like I have an accent in spoken English, like definitely, but when it comes to like how I learned English, I actually learned it when I was just a baby because I have a Dutch father and a Swedish mother, so I would just hear English in the home all the time. So I learned to speak English natively. It's just that the English I learned to speak natively was a English with an accent.
There's the teeniest, tiniest bit of the Swede in there. I can kind of hear it sometimes.
Oh, I can definitely hear it. I'm Swedish.
Yeah, I can hear it very well.
Yeah, but grammatically, like, there's nothing there. Like, I've never had to study grammar. I just know English grammar by heart because I'm a native speaker. It's just that my native English is a fucked up Swedish version.
And you see, I have a fairly well, it's kind of different situation because I talk French at home, of course. But since we're in the middle of fucking Canada and America, we all learn English. But like if I did not spend so much time online and made so much friend online, I would probably still be talking like this right now.
Oh shit!
With a very heavy French Canadian accent, you know.
I don't know why, but in my head, you just started sounding more American there. Like, what the fuck? That wasn't a fucking like, my friend. I am from the France world.
Right. Well, that's because we don't sound like that at all when we talk French.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like. Okay. I have to come clean, right? So I am deeply racist against French people.
Of course, me too. Of course, yeah.
But as I say to Cappy, you guys in Canada, you're like you're some of the good ones, right? Like.
Correct. Yeah.
You're okay.
They still eat mayonnaise on their French fries, though.
I have something. I have something again. So do I. I'm from the Netherlands, dude. Mayonnaise on French fries is just normal.
Oh no, I'm outnumbered. Fuck.
Dude, do you know where the French fries fucking come from? They come from Belgium, aka former the Netherlands. That's why they call French fries.
Help me. I need my.
That's why they're called French fries, because they come from the French-speaking parts of Belgium. Our people invented this shit. We get to decide how to eat it. And because I'm Dutch, right? I get to decide it's with mayonnaise and mushed apples. And that's how you fucking eat French fries.
No, actually. Dude, hold on. You know what's really good with French fries as well? Mm-hmm. Ice cream.
Okay, now you're going too far.
No, I'm not kidding. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious.
It's kind of
like fried ice cream. Anyway.
That's not based Benelux culture.
See, Whatta, this is the rabbit
American
hole. This is the slippery slope. You allow mayonnaise on one thing, and the next thing you know, Will's over here putting ice cream on his French fries.
I actually don't.
I just was in McDonald's with my friends at one night. We were just, like one summer night. It was like midnight or some shit, and we were hanging out in McDonald's, and I had this McFlurry and some fries. I was like, I've
seen people do that. It's just that is definitely cringe American because that is McDonald's has invented that, right?
Right. And it's really good. It's really good. Jesus Christ. Anyway, French people, we hate them.
I do. I just wanted to warn you that if I seem hateful against anything you say in French, that's why. I don't hate you. I just hate your.
You won't even register it as French. That's the thing because our accent is so fucking thick and so bizarre to people. Like people don't know the Quebecois accent.
No, we don't.
So yeah. Here, us Quebecois and French Canadians, we hate. Not only do we hate English Canadians, we also hate French from France. We hate everyone. Yeah. We only love ourselves.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I hear. Like.
Yeah. Well, that's everywhere outside of Montreal, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god. Okay, should we talk about the things we came here to talk about, like Digicord and shit? I don't fucking know. I'm just.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, see. Digicord and all those other servers are some multinational, multicultural communities, and
No,
so
they're
I guess
Koto's right.
this
It's
is
like 95% Americans. Like, come on. Like,
is it? Oh, I mean,
yeah,
okay. So see, I'm a big Nardcore guy,
yeah.
and they are like I would say 60% European, 40%
Okay,
American.
okay. Maybe
So,
it's just
yeah.
because like Gen 1 was definitely American though. Like in Ohio, we have like 3 Europeans that aren't just my friends that I put in there from like my local area that I like, that aren't
Yeah.
Digi-rated at all. So like there's like 3 Europeans that are just actual Europeans, right? And the rest are all American and some Canadians, right? So,
Yeah, okay.
anyway, I wanted to ask something before I start going into the history here, right? You said that you like heard a lot about like me, right? Before talking to me.
Well, a lot
Yeah.
is an overstatement.
Okay,
I just
but-
know you by name. I like Whatta.
I've been
He's the
dying
Ohaiyo Nation guy.
I've been dying for 2.5 years. Am I in Yardcord? Am I a villain or am I a hero? I need to know as like a basis here.
to
Because
be
when you
honest-
wait. Because when you set up the like idea of having me on, you felt the need to justify it with like, I am an open guy. I can talk to anyone. I'll listen to anyone's perspective, as if like it would be required to be open-minded to talk to the one.
No. I don't think I was thinking about you when I said that.
I don't know.
I think I was thinking more about people like let's say Howard and Lydia
Okay.
or
because
Ghost.
Because it came up like right after the segment of like, you know what,
Right.
I might be a yard corner, but I am cool. I can talk to you.
So okay, in Yardcord /
Yeah.
our cord,
Yeah.
I think there's this sort of meme that's like, oh, Ohaiyo Nation is like, oh, the ethno state of Ohaiyo Nation. There's like
Yeah.
secluded themselves from the rest of the world because there's this clear difference between Ohaiyo Nation and Yardcord, which are the two like big offshoot from Digicord, where Ohaiyo Nation seems to be almost entirely separated from Digicord, while Yardcord is very much still connected with Digicord, and
Yeah,
like
totally.
there's like a flow of people going on there.
Like the
Yeah.
thing is, like, okay, so I have like less than 3,000 posts on Nerdcorn, and I'm barely brought up there at all. And my name brings up 173 results, and yours brings up I think it was 75 or 76.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Then I'm
So-
just
so-
not talking about it much. That's good. That's exactly
There's
what I
this-
wanted, actually.
Right, there's this kind of meme. It's like, oh yeah, the ethno state, and like, the
Yeah.
Ohaiyo Nation cringe, haha. They're like just guys. I don't know, but every time you guys come up, it's always like Miki and me are just saying that Tangelo's the coolest guy ever.
He is. He is. It was actually like, I think Tangelo was the first person. When I first set up Ohaiyo Nation, right, I did it as sort of like a guerrilla thing. I just sent out invite links to a bunch of people, and I said no explanation at all. And then I just waited to see who would actually show up. And if you went into the server, it would be like a giant explanation of what was happening, right?
Yeah.
And I sent out links to 6 people, and it was like Cappy, it was Ash, it was Tangelo, it was this guy called Phantom Fanagor, who you guys don't know anymore, I would assume.
No.
He's a Gen 1 exclusive. And then maybe there were like 1 or 2 more people. It was this guy called Big Boy Fargo, who was like a lurker in Digicord, who I liked. I don't fucking know. He showed up to some movie nights.
yeah, I've said it
Um,
before that like, I like going back and reading old messages and stuff, and I have occasionally tried to go back and read like pre like me Digicord, and there's definitely periods where I can tell like maybe there's some nerdcore people there or other stuff like that. But if you go back to like the beginning and like more towards like I guess what would be like the first half, there's just so many names that I don't even fucking recognize because they had already been long gone or left.
And
no
those are like the
impression.
people that I know, right? Because, and I mean, they're gone again because I killed Digicord. And I killed.
Right,
by the
right.
way, I killed Digicord twice.
Right. So
Njord killed it once. I killed it twice because I also created a paywall.
right. So just get into that now. Just go over it.
I
Okay.
actually
How
didn't
did
know
you
about
kill
this
it?
paywall thing, so yeah, you can enlighten me on that.
Yeah. Wait. I'm just gonna put something in the fucking.
Yeah.
Where's the fucking thing? Will, can you find the fucking
Yeah. Well,
the
it's
thing
right
I sent
there.
you?
Yeah, it's right there in our DMs.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Can you just send it over so Edubs can see it? Because
Yeah,
I felt
there we
like
go.
he was struggling for time periods, and that's a
Right.
nice
So
little help for time
that's
periods.
what we're gonna do here, Edith.
Yeah. So I actually wrote like a document to help me go over this shit, right? So Digicord started in August 17. I was in around the 21st or the 23rd of August, right? So I wasn't in the first couple of weeks, but I was in like week 2 or 3.
Right.
And when I came in there, I was like, that was my second ever Discord I was ever involved with. I just started even learning what this app even was, right? I was pretty late to Discord. And I was just asking around, like, hey, what do we do here? What's going on? And Digicord was very different back then. There was no anime talk channel. That channel didn't exist. So general chat was way nerdier. Because a lot of people just talked about anime in there, right?
It's gonna be really funny to compare your culture to our experience.
Oh yeah, what was going
this
on?
sounds so different.
Yeah, there was no like political Discord. There was no music channel. There was fucking nothing, right? There was general. There was discussing digi content. What else existed? And then there existed like the tiered ones for each tier of the Patreon, right?
Right.
And there used to be the final tier back then was called Big Baby Boys and was for the $25 people. And that room was famously like never used by anyone, even though there were like 20 or so people. But like there was no purpose to ever use that chat because there was no specific reward that was actually being done. Because there was a reward, but DG famously never did it, except like once, I think.
Of course, as it goes.
And that was before I even was in there, right? So like that channel was like never used, and the only time anyone ever wrote in it was to see like, hey, this channel's still not being used, XD, like. But yeah, that was going on. So yeah, it was just general chat and discussing digi content. Discussing digi content was like brutally on topic, and also like extremely positive at the time. Like everyone was just like, "Yay, this video is awesome! Yeah, we love this!" And like we would have these like deep discussions about like because
This is like 2017, right?
Yeah. This is fall 2017, like January.
Yeah. So
And are you referring
so this
to
is like the
digi
peak.
content specifically? That
Yes.
people were okay. Yeah, I got you.
It was really positive and really on topic.
Dude, well,
and
I understand. I would have been real positive if I was there as well.
Yeah, it was like really in depth too, right? Because like in depth, because people back then hadn't really discussed Digi's content, so there was no like clear connection to like what was the theme of Digi content, what was like the ideas being presented. Like you watch something like Insomnia Analysis, right? And everyone had taken away something different from it. And we just had to hash that shit out. So the start of Digicord was like these fucking like hour long of people just wall posting about like their view on like old brony content or like famous anime videos or fucking off the dark masterpiece and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
I know that I would like every single day I would come in there and try to get people to watch the Bayfos vlog, which is like my favorite Digi thing ever. It still is to this day. Which is like the one where Digi like walks around a 3D camera or 360 camera talking about Bayfos. That is my favorite
battles.
thing.
Okay. It's so good.
It's
so
my
good.
favorite thing that they have ever made. It's so
when
genius,
she like
right?
when she like grabs the camera and goes, "Well, figure it out."
Oh, exactly. Oh, dude, it's so good. I've seen that thing hundreds of times. It's an amazing vlog. It's like
that for me is the peak era of Digi. Like
I described it as the best vlog ever made.
It's just going crazy in the room, and it was so fucking fun to watch.
Yeah. That was
especially
amazing.
since I was depressed myself back then. So
Yeah. I mean, what is so great about that vlog is that vlog about Bayfos is itself an experience of Bayfos. Like that is, it's so genius. And it was also completely unintended, as evidenced by the fact that Digi was so drunk that he didn't even remember making it the morning after, right? So like, it's amazing. But anyway, it was really on topic. And then general discussion was just a lot of people being really fucking nice. Like, people were just really shy back then. Because it was new, right?
Right.
And we were all scared of... Yeah. Everyone was scared of becoming the person, right? And as a result, until student became the person, no one became the person, right?
Yeah.
So student was the first person to like be hated. I mean, you talked a lot about that on the Miki show, and I agree with a lot of stuff that Miki said.
So
Um,
quick question about
yeah.
student. Um, was the like backlash against student, like, was it unanimous? Because like
Oh yeah. No,
I've
no one likes
seen
student.
I've seen some uh Digicord villains come and go,
Mm.
and there it always feels like there's none that are ever like, well, for the most part there's none that are like ever like unanimously hated. So the idea of someone that
Mm.
shows up that's just unanimously just like,
Okay, so what's interesting, right, is the student was just one in the gang for the first like 2 months, and no one even noticed. Like it was just one of the people we were hanging out. It was cool. I'm like on podcasts with students from back in those days,
mm,
just chilling and vibing, right? And like looking back at it, it's blatantly obvious the student was cringe. And if you listen back to this podcast, student is definitely cringe. Um, but we just didn't know yet because we didn't know this person that well, right?
yeah.
Right.
But student went through a lot of shit, and like what you have to realize is that like Econ's an asshole, but like student is insane, and there's a very like I'm not gonna summarize this whole thing because Miki went over it way better than I was planning to, right? But like let's just say that even though Econ is a massive fucktard when it comes to social interactions, there's a reason that it was student who got banned and not Econ, and that reason is not that Econ is friends with Digi. That was not even considered.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll swear to that. Like having talked extensively to Guns about this situation, right? So yeah, I just want that said very loudly. But anyway,
I mean, yeah. Edubs, have we had any other person other than DPCO get banned in our Digicord lifetime?
I want to say so, but I'm
Oh,
having trouble thinking
man,
of any particular names.
like there might have been.
DPCO
I mean,
really
there might
stands
have been
out.
Sparky, but that was like right before the
Mm.
whole Digi Exodus went on, and so
Mm.
after that, let's say a lot of people got kicked. Not
Well,
just Sparky.
and plus, Sparky got kicked just by pretty much breaking an unspoken rule. It wasn't something where it was negative reaction to like their takes or their personality or
I
anything.
mean, I mean, no, that was
No,
it was
people
just
didn't.
was
both.
that the
Didn't like
nudity
Spark.
thing?
What?
Was that the nudity thing?
That was the
It's
deal
the
with
lolly thing.
Lydia and May and political chat.
Yeah, no, I
The
don't.
inciting incident behind Digi leaving.
Dude, well,
Yeah.
that's a whole story in
I
and of
wasn't involved
itself.
with that. The only
Yeah.
you know what? The day you have Timbits on, you can talk to him about it. I think that's better,
Yeah,
right?
so,
like
right. So
I've heard ever
we'll
since
save
that happened.
this story.
Literally, ever since that happened, like Ohio Nation has harbored Timbits as this like this fucking escapee, this war prisoner that just run away. Like
I
we
was never
raised
that
him as
mad
our
at
own
Timbits.
little.
I was just sad. But
Yeah,
Yeah, we
like-
don't.
I mean, Timbits is my bro. Like I fucking love that guy. I love him to pieces. He's amazing. And
Let's
having him in
just say
Ohio
he
has made
did
my
not
life better.
handle the situation as best he could.
Oh yeah, there was no help. Like I was just sitting in Ohio Nation laughing, and he was coming into our server every now and then, like, "Oh my fucking god, I can't take it anymore." It's so good. Oh my god.
it was like weird shout out, but shout out to Ben Saint.
Mm.
Ben Saint was real cool in DMs after he grabbed control of the server, because we were essentially like, hey, can you just please like give it back? And he was like, yeah, sure, we'll just meme around for like one day and then we'll leave and we'll give it back. And we were like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Like he didn't
I
have
had
to
the
do
same
that.
conversation.
He could have just been a total fucking asshole, but yeah, he just didn't. So it was cool.
Who owns Digicord now? Is it Dark?
It's dark.
Darkonius, yep.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, so anyway, back in the earliest days, right? Like, no one was ever in VC. You know how it is in a new server. No one is in fucking VC ever, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
to be fair,
It's
that
just-
element of Digicord is kind of remained in one sense or another. Although we do some stuff now, but just yeah.
No, it's re-emerged, but it
Well, yeah.
wasn't like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
So-
see what you're going at.
Yeah. So what I did is that I really wanted to talk to people because I'm a talker. Like that's what I do, right? And I wanted to actually make real friends in there and not just text buddies, right? And I knew that we
Right.
would have to get a VC culture started. So what I would do in early Digicord and this is sort of like why I do feel comfortable taking credit for a lot of shit that happened back then. I would just sit in VC alone for like 7 hours a day, hoping
That's what Dark
someone
is
would
doing
pop in.
currently.
Yeah. Like I have a lot of respect for Dark for what he does for community building. Like, God knows we never had a pleasant conversation, but Jesus Christ, he does a lot of good work for that server, and I think that's great of him.
Completely agreed.
But like, yeah, I would just sit in VC for 7 or so hours, and eventually, like, 1 or 2 people would just pop in and be like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" And I'd be like, boom, exploding in conversation. I'd be like, "Hey, this is me. I'm fucking talking. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's have. Dude, do you like Fooly Cooly? I fucking love Fooly Cooly." And be like, "Oh, I love Fooly Cooly."
I mean,
It's like,
babes.
it's my favorite anime. What can I say? Or maybe Tokyo Godfathers has actually overtaken it by now, but it's close. But like that's how I would do it, right? And then slowly, this would just emerge as a VC culture. So like after a few weeks of me doing this, every day, it would just be people in VC 24/7. Like, Europeans would wake up, get in VC. By the time that they're like, Americans woke up, we'd have like the high noon where everyone's in there at the same time. Then Europeans would go to bed. Americans would be in there over the night. Then Americans would go to bed. Europeans would wake up. Like, there's always be fucking people in there, right? Like, constantly. Yeah. And this started breeding a lot of community activity. So, for example, I told Digi to make the group watch voice channel, and he did. And then I started like screaming out but we also got the organizing stuff channel, which is why that channel is like the text channel, because all the community activities were being done in the voice channels, and then we got organizing
now we have
stuff.
a voice chat.
Yeah, so then organizing stuff was supposed to be like where we organize what we do in voice chat, but then Digi never gave us a voice chat. So we started just using organizing stuff as the voice chat, right?
Yeah. That's how we used it as well. Before Dark took over, we didn't have a voice chat.
Yeah, like that just became the legacy of organizing stuff, and like that became the way it was for people who had no connection to how it started, right? Which is what I find so interesting about this like story of these generations, right? Because like I'm sure there's people who have like complained about why the fuck is organizing stuff the tech channel, and like they never knew, and like this is why. It's just Digi was too lazy to make 2 channels one day, so they made 1 channel, and we just had to fucking work with it, you know.
No, there's something really like similar to this in Yardcore, but you know what? I'll save this. I'll save this for the next episode with Yard. Because there is this weird culture as well with the voice chat in Yardcore, where it sort of serves as a second general chat.
Yeah, we have that too in Ohio. We have the exact same thing. It's our fucking shitpost channel. Whenever people just find random memes, they just post it in the voice channel for no reason. And I fucking crusade it. I've told them to post it in general for ages because I want the memes in general, because I want general to be popping off with fun shit. But nah, they just post memes in Type-a-Dog, and then they're like Facebook post in general. So fuck it. I don't fucking know. But yeah, so that started happening. And then this person who started emerging as like a leader in the community was definitely Tony, right? So that's the guy that Miki talked about last time, Untitled Abridged, or whatever. Tony. The dude's name is Tony. And it was because Tony was like the dude who was like the top comment on every single fucking Digibuild video at the time. Like that dude would be in, like Digi would have these like live streams for patrons above a certain level where Digi would just answer questions for like 1.5 hours every month. And they used to be really hype as well. Like, those were some great fucking live streams. And Tony would literally... The rule was basically that you would keep going until we ran out of questions. And when chat slowed down, Digi would just shut off the stream. And Tony would just take it on himself to, like, ask questions for hours and just think of things. So if you like, found those fucking live streams, it would just be, like, Tony for days chatting, right? With Digi. And everyone else was just kind of watching. And that's the role that I ended up taking over after a while. But Tony sort of emerged as this community leader. But I started emerging as like the activity leader. So I would like host the movie nights, and I would fucking like if we had like competitions, or when we started doing the Digiboys channel, that I was largely involved with that too, right?
What's that?
So all of that kind of stuff started to take place. And So Miki said this on the last episode, that I have this idea of like how to form a community, right? So I know that for a community to function, there needs to be a defined leader, or the community will not function. It will always get way more drama. It will taper out faster, and it won't work unless there's someone to take responsibility, someone to always like have the power, but then also play the butt of every single joke. So like one thing when I'm leader is that every joke should probably like in some way be about me and like kick me, because that means that I am supposed to take it because I have power. So it like balances it out so that it's not awkward that I have power because people make fun of me. And so it doesn't feel like I'm weird. So I can still hang out like one of the guys and it's fine. But then when something happens and I need to take my big boy shoes on, I can do that and people respect me because they know that I'm like shifting tone, right?
Yeah.
And that's the sort of role that I decided to take because Tony was not taking
the role
that
that Digi never took.
Exactly. That's the role that Digi refused to take. Because here's something you learn about Digi after a while. Digi does not like being joked about.
Oh,
Straight
not
up.
at all. She had a tweet recently. It was like she responded to a guy that was like, "Oh yeah, I would just watch anything you would make, whatever it is. I'll just always watch it and love it."
Yeah.
And Digi responded to that tweet like, "I wish my audience was just like 30,000 people who thought just like this."
Yeah.
She cannot
it's
handle
insane.
criticism at all.
I think that here's the thing though. Digi can handle criticism, but Digi cannot handle criticism that is having fun about being criticism. I think if you come to, because I spent a lot of time actually like talking to Digi and giving Digi criticism, and it was always really well received. I actually have like videos from way back when on like the Digiboy channel where I'm defending the removal of comments and I'm defending a lot of things that Digi was saying at the time. And it was because my experience was that Digi was really good at taking criticism. But it was because I realized that to give criticism to Digi, you need to be like, hey, Digi, this is what I really liked about the video. This is what I really didn't like. I'm being really serious. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I've considered that you thought of all these things, but I want to bring up my perspective. And if you come to Digi like that, they will fucking listen every single time.
Right.
And that's what people don't realize. But what Digi isn't able to do is people going like, haha, Digi always reads the script too fast. Oh my god, hyperspeed, omega lul. That just pisses them off, right? Like someone going like, oh, Digi hasn't posted 2 weeks. They dead. That will kill their drive. Making jokes is like, and that's what you need. Like to be a leader, you have to be able to take a punch. If you can't take a punch, you can't be a leader.
I think that's true. I definitely don't think that you're wrong about that at all. I don't know. It just sometimes with people like Slav though, I just feel like the criticism just got to the point where it was just like constant moaning, like why aren't
Slav
you doing
though?
the same old thing?
You mean comrade? You mean Orion?
Yeah.
Sugo. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm saying that like criticism can be good or bad, even if it's making the same point, right? But what defines criticism as good or bad is not objective. It's about who you're giving it to, and your relationship with that person. So one reason that I was able to give criticism to Digi was because I built up a credibility of like, I have seen all of these videos, I have had all of these discussions where I've correctly understood what you were actually trying to say and not just making up what I think you're trying to say. I have communicated to you in the past in a way that you respect. I have become a community leader in your community. I have all of these things going for me, and now they're just very willing to listen to things that I have to say because there's a mutual respect, right? Even though there's still like very much a creator-fan relationship, right?
Yeah.
And I was always very humble about that towards Digi. Like a lot of my DMs with Digi is like, hey, I found this piece of information, or hey, this is what I thought about a thing. Feel free to ignore, but then here's my wall. Read it if you want to. And a lot of times I got like, hey, that's good information, thank you, and then it was over, you know?
Yeah.
I
mean, that's
so,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if by the time I joined, which is like July 2019, I'm not sure if at that point there was any of that going on with anyone in the
Oh no, there wasn't. So
yeah.
that comes to like what happened in the silent era, right? Like after Ohaiyo was formed. Because a lot of things that happened then kind of changed Digi's relationship to the server already at that point. But as I said, initially, like Digi content was very, very like safe and nice and on topic and interesting.
Which is completely opposite of how me and Edubs knew that channel,
Exactly.
which was a
never that.
toxicity hole.
And also, what's hilarious is that once, and only once, Digi was like, I'm going to delete the history of this channel so that, like, gay op spies from Mumkey's channel can come in here and, like, post screenshots of my Discord. And then only deleted, like, Digi content logs, not any other channel. And then, like, never did it again. They said it was going to be, like, a monthly thing, but never did it again. So, literally, all the best logs are gone, and only, like, toxic shit has remained.
Yeah, to be fair, that was something I always thought about, was, like, I don't know, it kind of surprised me with how controversial of a figure Digi is and how many people don't like Digi. I was kind of surprised that we didn't get more people that just came in to mine backlogs for shit. But
I know that Mr. Tangelo has a complete dump of Digicord, save for that bit that's missing from Digi content.
Oh, nice. See, whenever the great DG Exodus happens, and we were scared for the life of the server because this one person, Sparky, had exposed the lolly posting. One guy had made a backup of the not safe for work channel.
Oh my god! Only that channel.
Yeah, only that channel.
I know, but yeah, Tangelo has the entire server backed up.
Oh, based. All right.
Except again for that part Digi deleted in discussing Digi content, which I think is gone forever. But yeah, there's even like an old pin you can find in that channel from Digi, which is like, there used to be cool people like Whatta and Denau actually discussing the content. And I just think that's funny because first of all, Denau was never that active of a chatter. But like, they made an impact on Digi because they actually met Digi at a con. Because they lived in Rochester, right? And so did Digi. And then like, Denau is actually a member of, well, they go by Val now, so I'm not gonna use their old username, but they go by Val these days, and like Val is still active in Ohio. And every time we bring that up, they're like, "That's so weird. Why am I mentioned?" But anyway, what happened then, right, is that like we started having all these activities, and Digiboy started really popping off. So there were like two things that happened in Digiboy. There was the anime.
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, because you mentioned pin messages and Digi content. I just looked at him just now and I saw a message by Edubs, and it's just open parentheses, open parentheses, open parentheses, yard cord, close parentheses.
True.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
10 out of 10 Edubs.
I mean, what can you say? He's German, like. So like, we started having these two podcasts started springing up. One of them only got 5 episodes, and that was the anime watch along. And if you go back to old episodes of that, you can find like episodes like Miki, Guns, and Student discussing the original JoJo OVA, or an episode where Guns was against everyone else, and Guns was like defending Mayoiga, and everyone else was hating on it. It doesn't go back then, right? And then also, me and Gun started feeding the content machine, which is the only fan podcast that has actually garnered Digi's attention, and they listen to it every single episode. Because we're just a podcast talking about Digi, and they're an egomaniac, so they're gonna listen to a podcast talking about them, right?
Yeah.
And also, that podcast kind of blew up because Digi started shouting it out in a whole bunch of videos, and like, go listen to Feeding the Content Machine, the podcast that just talks about my content. And so we actually got quite a bit of listeners for that shit. And because that podcast kind of became popular, that really cemented like me and Guns as the core figures of the server. Right at the time where Digi was like, I need a moderator. So of course everyone's screaming like, Whatta Guns, Whatta Guns, Whatta Guns. And then I screamed Guns because what Digi had already started expressing things like, I don't want this place to be moderated. I don't want like a strong community culture. I want this to be like an open place. Anyone can come in, anyone can go. It's just discussion. There's no like... So I was like, I'm the wrong man for this, right? So Guns And that's why Guns was such a lackadaisical mod, right? Because Guns was like the
Guns
opposite
did
of me.
nothing. Yeah.
Guns like thrived seeing the chaos. For Guns, like if you talk to Guns about what Digicord was, he always saw it as like this grand experiment of like, you know, when you're a kid and you find like ants from 7 different ant hills and you put them in a like plastic container and you watch them fight to the death. That's how Guns view Digicord. And the only time he would moderate it is if like one ant was was becoming like way too dominant and like making it not fun to watch, then he would like, you know, swat that ant away a little bit. Like
That's how it was for a while. Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely Guns' moderation style. Whereas, you know, the world would be very different if I became the moderator back then. It would be like a very different server. Jesus Christ. Because I would basically try to make Ohio, right?
Yeah.
And around that time that it happened, I was getting like more and more the hint of like, Digi doesn't like this server, right?
Yep.
And that was starting in like early November of 2017. So the server
It's
was
really
like
funny. It's really funny because now I'm just realizing that like the whole atmosphere that me and Edom's experience was just there from the start, and it's just it was just different people, but like the whole real relation with Digi was just the fucking same.
Yeah, but like what the biggest difference was that it was way less cynical back then, because people were just genuinely having fun and loving each other and having this creative spirit, right? And it was actually like an episode of the Patreon podcast that Digi did, like the behind the scenes one, where Digi said like, all my fans always come to me saying that they want to be friends because all my fans have never experienced someone like me and they're all like me. So they all want to be friends with me. And what I'm trying to get to happen is that they should all become friends with each other so they can stop asking me to be friends with them, right?
Right.
And I latched onto that and I started like quoting that all the fucking time. And then that basically became the culture of the server. Like, because Digi can't be friends with all of us. We all really like Digi. Maybe, yes, maybe we will all like each other.
You're
and
right.
then that happened, you know? Like that's basically what we did, right? But Digi was going to not like the server. But later on, Digi would not like the server because the server was too anti-Digi, right? And that became like really frustrating, which I can totally fucking understand. Like having a server that hates your ass.
She also got tired of just being
so much
a
drama.
moderator for it and like
and
all the
Digi,
drama with Lydia
Digi's
and
just
May.
terrible leader.
Okay,
like
well, wait. Because I feel like there is something I need to say. I forget who pointed this out. It might have been Cap. Cap might have pointed this out. Okay, so I know what I said earlier, and I still believe that that's true. But there was also a lot of like filleting from fans in that channel constantly, even when I was there and when Will was there. There was some of that too. It was just different groups of people.
Yeah. And usually it was the newer members, right?
So the people that were really pogging in Digi content was the people who really liked things such as the autism level chart and the neurotyping chart. Like
that shit
those
didn't exist back then. Like that never existed. Like,
and that's the kind of thing that alienated people like me, Yard, and Comrade, and because we were here at first for the anime content, and well, we got into DG like to certain degrees, on like the cult of personality. I got really into it personally. I know not everyone did, but still, over time, as DG like went away from that, and that the cult of personality became very, very different than how it was before.
See that definitely what happened too, right? Because Gen 1 Digicord, back then, the only people who would patron Digi were people who loved After Dark, and no one else ever would, right? So none of us would be there and be like, whoa, this anime video is the next best thing, right? Like, but when the big drops for Digi back then was like, oh shit, we're about to get the fucking insomnia analysis is about to drop, you know? Like, oh fuck, this is this is like what we've been waiting for. And it wasn't a thumbnail analysis. It was the new fucking thing that they did when they moved to Rochester. And I forget the name of it. Like the black hole. I don't fucking know. But like when that shit dropped, like you can hear me and Guns on Feeding the Content Machine like going for hours about this fucking vlog and all the things discussed in it and shit, right?
Yeah.
Those were like the big drops. And the music, like when I remember when fucking Gay and Dead came out, like that was big. That was a big deal.
I assume it was some high shit. So you're still going through the first generation here, right?
Oh yeah. Because I have nothing to say after the first generation. So I'm just gonna fucking go through it, right?
Okay, yeah.
True.
So like, when I started getting the feeling that Digi wasn't really gelling with the server, and back then they weren't gelling. So as I said, it wasn't because people didn't like them, because back then the server was really positive towards Digi. What Digi hated was the fact that we sat in voice chat and said things that Digi couldn't see. So Digi started having like control mania system.
Oh my god, really?
Digi started, Digi started fearing that like there was bullying going on in VC, and that we were talking shit about Digi in VC, and that.
Wait, that seems really insecure and like.
It was absolutely insecure. It was I got really mad when I heard that.
At all.
Like that made me fucking pissed off, right? Because I had just spent 3.5 months trying to build the most wholesome fucking VC community you've ever seen, right? I had taken these like seeding depressed nerds from across the world, and I fucking molded them into like happy-go-lucky guys who would go and watch movies together and giggle to like Welcome to the Space Show at 3 a.m, right? Like,
I think I got an idea for a thumbnail here. It's just gonna be like Whatta as Superman, like a really strong guy, just carrying Digicord.
please don't. The meme about me in Digicord is that I am an egomaniac. Please don't blow that fucking shit up. I don't like. I am trying to be very realistic about what I actually did and be proud of what the things I achieved. But like, I want to take absolutely no credit for the things that other people did. Like, for example, the idea for the Digiboy channel was had by a guy called Lethargilistic. Everything that happened after I founded Ohaiyo Nation is all thanks to Dark and Fosedimus.
Okay.
Like, I give full credit about all of that shit. Tony was a massive part of early Digicord culture. And I sort of took the reins from him as he sort of decided to not play the leadership role. And I did decide to play that role. But, like, I do take credit for the shit I did. And so I don't want to come off as this fucking egomaniac that people meme on me. I know Dark loves memeing on me for being a massive egomaniac, right?
I've never really heard Doc say much about
whenever I would come back like for a week or two, that was like, get out Whatta, you only want to talk about you, right?
Okay.
That was always the meme when I came back, and I just want to talk about it because I thought it was interesting, and how things had changed.
I think Dark's personality has made a slight shift over the course of the server.
Good. Remember, I have not talked to Dark since like mid 2018. So
yeah, he's
been a while.
I still enjoy him. He's still a cool dude. He's just I think that he's gotten more like reserved, which again, that's not like a bad thing. I think that's just something that's happened. Because like if I go back and look at his old stuff, he just seems like he was being more outgoing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is motherfucking Chaisamir still on the server?
No. Chaisamir left. He just fucking left out of nowhere. He was really like into the idea of me and Dart watching Gundam Seed.
Specifically because didn't he leave specifically?
Right, he left like 2 days after DG transitioned, because Chaisamir is a fucking bigot, of course.
I was gonna say this, Chaisamir. I knew that guy was a fucking piece of shit when he told me Fulikuli was a free. Okay, like
exactly. So
he said that shit to my face, and I was like, no.
So Chaisamir is a big reactionary bigot kind of guy, and he was really into this idea of me and Dark watching Gundam Seed, because Dark was always known as the Gundam guy in Digicord, and when I joined, suddenly there was the second Gundam guy, because I had seen more Gundam than Dark. I was like, oh shit, and I still have. I'm almost finished with Gundam. Whatever, I'm not gonna go into it, but it's like, so me and Dark kind of like really talked about Gundam a lot, and people are just like observing that. And Chaisamir, who's like a big like otaku core kind of weeb, he was really he really likes Gundam Seed, and
like,
he really wanted me to Dark.
He's a fucking 39-year-old man who actually lives in Japan, so he can like go to Akihabara and buy Gundam figures every day. Like he is like some kind of level. He like belongs in the TV series Train Man as one of those characters. Straight up.
Like fucking molests Japanese girls in the trains. Guy. Anyway, so
I hate this person. Okay, thank God that he's gone.
He really wanted me and Dark to watch Gundam Seed, and we only did after he was gone. After he was gone, probably because Digi transition. That's the speculation. That's the theory.
Fuck that.
But anyway, he really likes it. Needless to say that Gundam Seed is utter garbage. And you should, as I said in the first episode of this, you should only watch it if you have a friend to go with you the whole week in the voice chat, 100 episodes, and you go fucking crazy. You lose your mind over it.
We actually have a Gundam guy in Ohio who was like the Gundam guy of Gen 1 Digicord called Brandon. Now, he hasn't seen like a substantial amount of Gundam, but the stuff he's seen is like some of his favorite stuff. And I know he's always had the profile picture of that one redhead protagonist guy. I don't fucking know Gundam. I don't know his name.
Redhead?
The ginger protagonist of Gundam. The main fucking protagonist.
Amuro.
Yes, exactly, that guy.
Okay.
He always had like the picture of him leaning back with the sunglasses for like 4 years as his profile picture. And then we actually recently have had another guy called Skydragon in there who was like... Skydragon was basically a lurker in Gen 1 Digicord and like just started chatting like a week before I made Ohio, and I thought that they were kind of cool, so I put him in Ohio for no reason because back then I just took anyone I thought wasn't terrible, right?
Yeah.
And so like Skydragon just kind of ended up there, and it doesn't really have any relationship to Digi, but it's just has always been in Ohio. It's pretty funny. There's some of those people in there.
Yeah.
Who are like technically Digicorders but never really were.
It's funny because Nardcore has also reached a point where there are people who join Nardcore without having gone through Digicord, and there's like this clear cultural rift here.
Yeah, but do you have like people who did join for Digicord, but they were like active in Digicord for like 1 or 2 days, and then they just became Nardcorders?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when this happened, Digi was just about to have a live stream with those like Q&A things, right? And this was when I had fully taken over the roles of like the guy who will ask a million questions to keep the stream going. And I like taking over Tony's shoes in that way, right?
Yeah.
And I just started drilling Digi on his opinions on the server, right? And I don't even think Digi knew why I was doing it, but I was like, what do you think of the culture? What do you think of the activity? How do you think of like the post count? How many people are talking? What we're talking about? The channel layout. I was just drilling them on everything. And basically, it was like I was this middle manager for a company that I had like a perfect understanding of. Like I knew every employee. I knew everything we were doing. I knew our bottom line. I knew like, and I was just interviewing the CEO, and they didn't know shit. They didn't know anything about like the people in there, what we were doing, what was happening, and I just got more and more angry with every question. I got angrier, right? I got mad, and in the end, I was asked like, what do you think would help the server? What do you think would make this server go to a place you would be happy with? And Digi said, like line for line, I'm gonna fucking just, I have saved this quote for infamy, right? So here is the quote. Okay, in Ohaiyo Nation, why this place exists, scroll up to the top. The Digibro Discord is not a place to form little friendship circles and such. It needs to be inviting to all and be an open discussion forum. If you feel like you have a clique of people who are all friends, make a side server for that shit. That is the literal quote, and that has been the first post in Ohaiyo Nation since day one, right?
Congratulations, Digi, you now killed your server.
Yes. That's exactly what that motherfucker did. So literally within 5 minutes of that quote being said, I had sent out Ohaiyo Nation invites to 6 people. Then within another hour, I'd sent it out to 12 more people. And then over the next week, I would grow to 21 people. Those 21 people would go on for about a month until late December. And form like the core start of Ohaiyo Nation.
Right.
We've grown from there, but really, that was just what happened. A month in, I sent this wall of text to Digi. I was putting it in the chat for you there. This was me coming clean to Digi.
I'll
telling
probably put
him,
that on the video.
Yeah, feel free. This is I'm not hiding any of this, right? So I basically had been taking stats on the server because again, I'm really invested in community building. So I take a lot of stats on like post count, who's talking, how much people are talking, and I keep track of everything, right? So that I can help adjust people. So like if I see someone's posting less, I can like read their posts and see if they're down about anything, or see if anything happened leading up to the incident, and like try to like change the culture of the community to like help them initiate back again, right? So I would do that for like all the people. And I would like, that's why I have like all of this information about like, oh, this channel has half the activity. These people are taking more space. This is not happening anymore, and so forth, right?
Right.
So I sent all this to Digi, and literally the response is like, this is interesting info. Though I will say that the server seems to have gotten worse, since it's now like Econ is somehow the most active user. Which is a great post. And then, 1 day later, I get this from May. What was it 1 day later? Maybe it was a few days later. I don't know when that was. But this was like, I think it was like 1 day later. So May writes to me and says, heard there's a cool boy Discord, winky face. And I respond with like this, like, as if I'm a lawyer laying out what's been going on. With like this big blob of text of exactly what's been happening. And then in the end, I literally write like, sorry for the long form post. I just cannot communicate in any other way than long formal write-ups for people I respect a lot and don't know on a personal level. So like I undercut May's entire attitude. Like she was trying to like weasel her way into like a nice little conversation and shit. I was like, nah, this is the deal. This is kind of what people hate about me. I can be very long-winded. I talk a lot, as you might have noticed on this fucking podcast. And then I'm also like very formal with people, and I give it to them straight, right?
Yeah.
May ended up joining Ohaiyo Nation for the first like, I want to say like 3 or 4 months, and almost never writing. And we were all like, it was an open secret, like May spying on us. That's literally what's going on.
She was in Yardcore for a bit as well. I don't know if she's still there, and I'm pretty sure she only stalks. Like she really is. She wants to know everything about what people say about her.
No, I'm pretty sure she was there to search Digi's name every day.
Right.
I think it was about him.
Well, I will say that May. I think May definitely has had her own interests, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I mean,
but this was like right at the start as well, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, she's still around. I mean, she hasn't posted since the Ethan Ralph thing, which is kind of weird. But she has been around in in Digicord even after Digi left. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that like, because this was like 4 or 5 months into their relationship, like, I think at this point it was definitely like, she's in here to make sure that we don't become a Digi hate group, because that would be a problem for their business. It felt very like that was what everyone was saying in Ohio back then. It was very like open about it.
Yeah.
And also back then, the name of the server was the Digi Friends Click. We only became Ohaiyo Nation like way later because of a meme that started in the server of posting that fucking emote and saying every morning we would just post this fucking emote. And we did this like so consistently. Everyone would just wake up and post this in the servers. So we just became Ohaiyo Nation.
It's the state of Ohio. I get it.
Exactly. It was the dumbest pun. It's the dumbest fucking pun, and it's like defined my adult life. Jesus Christ.
Shout out to my boy Jubes from Yardcore.
Oh
my Ohio boy.
We don't even have we do not have a single member from Ohio. Not a single one. Anyway, so that was what was going on. That's how Ohaiyo Nation started. And since then, like, I'd say that we were Digi Friends Click for about 3 months. And by that point, half of our people were no longer even watching Digi videos.
Yeah, it's very much graduated into more of a like friends group type situation.
It's literally a friends group.
See, the exact same thing happened with me and Edub's Our Generation. Except we never made a split off channel. We just stayed in Digi and made it our own.
Yeah.
And ultimately that led to Digi leaving.
Yeah. Because if we don't leave, Digi leaves. That's literally the case, right? So like, what I learned through this is that like the reason that Ohaiyo Nation is the ethno state, right? Like, I am literally responsible for every single person who's coming to this server except for Edubs. Edubs was entirely a Tangelo project.
Yes.
Base.
Yeah.
But until Edubs, I had like my hands clutched around the keys to Ohio, because I knew that like one of the things that made it so fucking hard to build community in Digicord, and why I could never be really ambitious about it, is that like new people coming in all the time and the server becoming gigantic meant that like personal relationships really limited. And I want people, like, what I wanted to build was like, because we were all nerds who had no home, right? And most of us had like broken relationship with our families, and we had like all this fucking baggage. Like the entirety of 2018 is like everyone in Ohaiyo Nation playing psychologists for each other. Like,
Right.
And that's what I wanted to foster. And if I was gonna start letting in like Nyard and Shaisamer and Facetimus and all these people who were like growing up in the next generation of Digicord, I felt like I was going to hamper that. Like that was going to disappear. And
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm fucking happy I held my clutches in those keys, right? Because there are people in Ohaiyo Nation who like, they were just in Digicord for like 1 or 2 months, didn't really have that strong connection to Digi, unpatroned immediately when Ohaiyo Nation started existing. But like, I built fucking relationships with these people. Like, these people have flown across the world to visit me in Sweden.
Yeah.
Who all has visited you out of curiosity?
What do you say?
I said, who all has visited you out of curiosity?
So Momi Shami, who's no longer in Ohio, came in the summer 2018. Morton, who is now like an AFK lurker I don't even think he lurks the Ohio anymore. I think he's just forgotten it. But he was like the most active Digicorder after like me and Tony back in the day. A massive Digibro fan. He's visited me also summer 2018. And then summer 2019, Mr. Tangelo, Majin Weeaboo, Esme, Skydragon, was it one? Oh, and Brandon. They all visited me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sinarko was organizing a meetup in Denmark in 2020, but COVID-19 happened.
That sucks. Dude, if you're gonna have something in Denmark, I'll fucking show up. Dude, that's close.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know about that. Maybe Nyar is gonna have something to say.
oh, that's gonna be. I just stand outside throwing rocks at the window like, Ohio supremacy.
But yeah, it's been reported to at least 2021, maybe 2022. We don't know yet.
We've had like 8 or 9 meetups at this point, but most of them are like either European exclusive or stateside exclusive.
Right.
There's only been
something
one
that really
one.
pisses me off right now, because I really, really want to see like certain people, like Tundi, Miki, Edubs, like people who would be fairly easy for me to visit because we're on the same continent, on the same coast. And so it's like I just want to see them, but the border is fucking closed, and I don't want to. I don't want to fucking do a unessential trip. Like, I want to be serious about the COVID.
Right now, it's easier for you to like get into Sweden than to get into America. It's insane. Like,
yeah.
And that's just because like I might have dropped this bomb. My country, our opinion on COVID-19 from the government side is that if we hold our fingers in our ears and sing la 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 and pretend like it's not happening, it's not happening. That is Sweden's entire strategy. In Sweden, there are no masks. Schools are open. I would know. I work in one. Like, I'm a teacher, right? So I've been working since day one with this shit. And I work with 6-year-old kids. Like, I'm physical at work, right? Schools are open. The only thing that's happened in Sweden until, like, December when they started actually doing something for the first time because they were like, oh, it's actually not working? Oh, it's not working. Ah, shit, we gotta do something. So that was like, 3 weeks ago. Until then, the only thing you'd ever see in Sweden is people standing a little bit further aligned in the supermarket queue. That's it. That's it.
We're about to have a fucking curfew up here in Montreal, well, in the entirety of Quebec, because the fucking government couldn't decide themselves.
All I wanted was some vacation time from my work.
I was
like, I'm a teacher.
Wait,
I live in Sweden.
Okay. See. At first, at first the provincial government of Quebec was handling this very, very well. But at one point they're like, okay, you'll be able to celebrate Christmas. Oh, never mind, you won't. No, actually, you will be able to celebrate Christmas. No, you won't. Actually, you will be able. Psych. You guys stay at home. You can't see your family. Fuck you. And like from this point onward, and nobody likes them, but also the measures are becoming stronger and stronger, and we'll have a curfew apparently.
It's like in Sweden, as I said, they did nothing until like the 15th of December or some shit, right? And they've been saying like, oh, we're not gonna do anything, we're keeping on the Swedish line, we're gonna herd immunities our way, we're gonna do nothing, right? That was like the whole Swedish mentality. And then like literally like 2 weeks before Christmas, when everyone's plans were finished, they were like 7-person max limit in any vicinity. And it's like, oh, everyone's plans just go right out the window. Like the timing, it's impeccable. Jesus Christ.
And you're Swedish, so you're gonna respect the rules.
Wait, yeah. Like the thing about Sweden is, what you have to fucking understand about this country is that we love following rules. We just hate having them. If you give us a rule, everyone will be like, cheerio, lad, okay, we'll do it. We trust you, Mr. Government, oh, sir, please. But then behind the scenes, we'll be like, we fucking wish they had no rules at all, actually. Like, we'll play nice, but Jesus Christ, we wish they did fucking nothing. And our government knows this. And they know that the only time the Swedes get angry about rules are when we're anonymous in the voting booth, right? So, like, they have to actually do as little as possible. But they know that whenever they actually do something, we will follow it. But then we'll vote them out next time.
Yeah, I find the COVID thing, in one respect, I find the COVID thing like really funny because a big part of like online discourse, and this is especially true if you follow forum culture at all. Europeans love shit talking Americans all the time, and also vice versa.
Canadians too.
But it's just really funny.
The whole world does. Eat us.
We live
Everyone
for
shit
talking Americans. That's fucking literally our reason that we exist. I'm not even
Somalia
kidding.
shit talks you. Japan shit talks you. India shit talks you. You're shit. That's why we shit talk you.
Well,
okay?
No. I'm not saying. I'm not. Listen. I'm not saying that America doesn't have its issues or whatever. I just think it's funny that like as soon as COVID happens, like Europe and America both basically get fucked like to pretty much almost the same degree. I mean, like fucking Britain got completely annihilated, and they have like a new fucking strain now. Like Italy with all their fucking like family dinners and like old fucking people smoking, like they got completely annihilated. Sweden's apparently like I didn't even know about the Sweden thing until you told me about it just now.
We have like a really high. We have pretty low cases because Sweden's just like not social, so no one hangs out anyway. But we have like a really high mortality rate just because we don't do shit to prevent anything.
And I'm sure Njard will be able to confirm this next episode, but apparently Germany handled it so well that people started believing it was a hoax, and so and so people started going out, and now there's a fucking massive wave.
Yeah,
COVID.
Germany was the strictest. They were like super on that shit.
Yeah. But everyone shit starts America, but nobody has a country born out of not liking America, like me.
True.
Sure. I will say this, that like in the mid 1800s, half of Sweden moved to America. We never really forgave that. So that's why you guys have a Minnesota, by the way. It's just are thrown away Swedes who like decided.
Oh yeah, or you guys are the Winnipegs. You guys.
That's why they're the Vikings. That's why their team is called the Vikings. It's just because they're Swedes. All of them are Swedes.
That's the fucking depression province.
Oh yeah, it's like I just want to get into the mind of those people, right? Because Swedes these days are like, oh, I want to go to Thailand. I want to go to Mallorca. I want to go to Spain. Like, all these Swedes just dying for sunlight and warmth and anything, right? And then Swedes in the 1800s was like, we're going across the Atlantic. Where to? Minnesota. Why? It's exactly like home.
Well, there was back then, it was actually a big movement by the government of Canada, Wilfrid Laurier, and he was the one who like colonized the Three Prairies provinces. So Minnesota, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. And like in Alberta, and there's like a lot of Ukrainians and Germans and all that stuff. I think Saskatchewan as well. And you tell me Swedes in Minnesota, that makes sense. It was a lot of Europeans. Like the government of Canada actually seeked them out and like had like propaganda posters in those countries about Canada. Like, move into Canada. There's like this whole entire fucking plains that we need to fucking cultivate because it's free. It's there for the taking, right?
I'm pretty sure that the Swedes were like the ones who stayed in the America though, because they were like really in love with the idea of America back then, and so Swedes just kind of stayed. I think that like the Germans went to Canada more than the Swedes did.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly Germans and Ukrainians. Yeah. And
the Swedes all like some got stuck in New York City where they arrived the boat. Some got stuck in Chicago where they arrived with the train, and the rest all went to Minnesota. That's the Swedes, right? Anyway, enough about 1800s immigration history, right? Fuck the US. That's all I have to say. Fuck completely. Fuck you, E-dubs. You cringe motherfucker. Your country, I laugh at you. Ha ha ha.
It's okay because I know that's not how you actually feel.
Dude, didn't I literally like write a post in Ohaiyo Nation recently like countries it's okay to be racist against? Denmark.
Okay.
I wrote like
So you hate America, true, but you're not.
No.
Like...
I specifically wrote like Denmark, France, most of America.
but you're also low key like fuck Sweden too though.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I respect Sweden because living in Sweden just fucking works. Like, I can take a bus, it's a reasonable price. I lose my job, there's a way to get money until I get a new one. I get sick, there's healthcare. I pay my taxes, it's automatic. I don't even think about it. I never realized I'm paying taxes in my life. It just doesn't appear in my account to begin with. That
does sound nice.
It's like sure.
Wait, is that not the norm? What?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
No. Americans don't realize it's like this, right? Because they live in a dysfunctional country, right? I have my number. The government knows me as a 10-digit number, and with that number, I can identify anywhere I want. It's completely ID's proof. I can post my fucking identity number in any Discord as a meme, and they can't even use it for identity theft. It's impossible because it's completely secure. It's but at the same time, it's very functional identification because of phone apps that just allow me to identify myself anywhere I want, or just send money to anyone efficiently without extra cost. It's like Sweden just fucking works. It's brilliant living here. Politically, we're kind of evil. But you don't need to think about that in your day-to-day life. That's fine. Like my friend Momi always said that Sweden is the least known about Nazi nation. And we are one of only 2 countries to ever have had a race biological institute run by the government. The other country, Germany. Just saying. And they were very much happening at the same time.
Yeah. Sweden's
it seems bizarre because when you think about the Nordic countries like Norway, Sweden, and Finland, you always think about like, oh yeah, those are like left-wing paradise, and like it's the best countries on earth, and like
you have to realize that like
super happy over there.
Yeah, within the Nordics, right? Within Finland, Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Sweden is the America of those nations, right? Like,
okay.
Sweden is the one that we allow the Germans to ride trains through Sweden to invade Norway. We didn't help Denmark to save shit. We just like, oh, you invaded Denmark? Fuck Denmark! They killed some of our guys in the 1500s. We were like having Viking wars and shit. Fuck those guys. They can be Nazi killed. Iceland, like, they've had some shit economic troubles. Denmark's helped them out. Norway's helped them out. Sweden's looked the other way. Finland got invaded by Russia twice. Sweden didn't fucking help. Like don't get me wrong, Swedes helped, but Sweden did not help. So right. Like 8,000 soldiers just went to Finland. That's like, we gotta fucking help these guys. Because remember, 100 years ago, we fucking owned Finland for 100 years. It was called East Sweden. So and also Norway has in the past been called West Sweden. And Denmark has, oh actually we were North Denmark, fuck. But like, we are definitely the Americas of the Nordics, and everyone hates us. But we are also way better than them.
Got it. So yeah, literally America. Got it. All right. Well,
okay.
Were you done with the first generation?
I founded Ohio, right? So fuck it. That's
Right,
how I
right.
killed Digi the first. The second time I killed Digicord was I just sent you the fucking screenshot because it's really funny. This is just a DM I had with Digi when I created a paywall. So I basically was like, Digi doesn't do anything unless you tell him exactly how to do it and how to do it as easily and time efficiently possible. So I blocked all the channels by creating a way for Digi to do it in under 5 minutes, or it would never have been done.
Amazing.
Yes.
And he didn't even
it's
put any
hilarious.
more work into doing that with new channels, but okay.
Just hearing on the Mickey episode how terribly that paywall was utilized later on.
Oh
just
my
like,
god,
oh my
it's
God.
been and I think according to Dark, from what he's told me about permissions and stuff, it's still been kind of an ongoing thing. But yeah, just like Digi didn't utilize any of the information that you gave him at all. So
Nope.
Yeah. All right, so we get here into second generation, and here the people you have in there are Dos Enemies, Majin Weebu, I assume.
Yeah.
Momi Shami, I don't know that person.
So Majin and Momi were like people who came into Digicord in like after Ohio was founded, but I instantly snatched them up into Ohio, so they're just Ohioans.
Got it. And then there's Econ, Dark, and Chisimir.
Dark is a guess. Okay, I don't fucking know when that guy came into the server.
It might have been. I think
early.
that's accurate. If it's not there, it's in the first generation. But
No, he was not first yet.
Okay. But
like,
I do
Dark
believe
was
that's
not
accurate.
around.
But
Yeah.
we can't really talk about that. So I assume we'll have to have someone like Dark on the podcast to talk about those times.
Timbits.
Or
You need
Timmy's.
Timbits.
Yeah.
You need Timmits. He's the coolest dude. And you like.
All right. We'll
call
have
him
Timmy's on.
Timmy.
But
yeah, just have to call him
just
Timmy.
warning, Timmy's, and reassurance to all the people of Digicord. We will not go easy on Timmy's. All right.
Timmy's is my bro, dude. I'll fucking punch you if you make Timmy's cry. I'll punch you.
No, I will.
I love that guy.
It will be friendly. I promise.
He's the coolest dude. When I was listening to the Tangel episode, because he's from Alberta, right? Like,
he's Albertan.
Yeah, I was writing to him about the rats, right? He was like, "Yeah, we fucking kill those rats. Hell yeah!" He was popping off.
Okay, we better have. Okay, we'll have Timmy's. I don't care. He's right there after Nyard.
Yeah, he's the greatest, dude.
We have to continue the Alberta saga.
I think that like if you look at people who are like been influential in Digicord, it goes like Dark top because he has the longest reign, right?
Yeah.
And then you go like maybe. Me and Yard like right under that, and then you get like under that you get like Timmis, and under that you get like Tony, right? That would be like my tier list of influential people in Digicord over the ages.
Right. You're not aware of Pepsu or me.
Oh no, I'm not aware of any of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like people who like set the fucking culture and took leadership roles.
Yeah, we'll get.
And then of course you throw guns like all over that list. By the way, like he's way up there.
Yeah, we'll get into all of that ourselves in later episodes. We can't really get into second generation. We'll have someone like Timmy's.
Yeah.
Third generation, we can go into that really, really deep next week because we'll have Nyard on. And this will be hype. I'm hyped for the Nyard era and the formation of Nyardcore and all of that.
What you have to realize about the second generation though is that like when Timmy's comes into this server, it's like, I've talked to him, right? And it's like he comes into a server and he just sees this skeleton of a thing that used to be there. Like he sees a movie night voice channel and a podcast voice channel. He sees like a really active like text channels that are just like now just dribbling, right? Like nothing's in them. and he just looks around like, what the fuck happened in here?
It's like he gets in. It's like the fucking caretaker playing in this fucking headphone. It like looks around.
Yeah.
There's no one. This is like deserted
ghost
party.
house, right? Yeah, because all the Ohaios just fucking ran out, right? And then in the corner, he just sees like Econ and Student like punching each other in the face repeatedly, constantly, day in and day out. Because I never took those people into like fucking Ohio, right? So like, so what Timmy's tried to do initially, like in the first wave of Timmy's, like Timmy's came in 2 waves, right? Like Timmy's is both Gen 2 and Gen 4, and skipped out on Gen 3. So Timmy's like tried to fucking rebuild everything. Timmy's was hosting the movie nights. Timmy's was trying to like get podcasts going. It was Timmy's and
he was also hosting the manga club.
Yeah, the manga club. Timmy's did that forever, and then Coco Pilot was in there as well, doing a lot of good work.
Right.
So yeah, like that's why I respect Timmy's a lot, because he actually tried to do a lot of community building, and that's what I love that shit, right?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, I'll be glad to have Timmy's on. I'll be hyped for New York next week, and then after that it's 4th gen, which is I will just state here the most important members of that generation, because this is the one I'm the most familiar with, of course. Me, Edubs, Pepsu, Clayton, Kazuki, and then who else? I don't even know. There might be someone like Jerry Jur, but he left. Oh, where he's not. He hasn't left. He just like AFK. People like I think Janus, or they might have been there for longer, and people like Cooch Snart. Well, she left, but yeah. But those are the people that me and Edubs got really familiar with when we joined. Because when we joined, it was like shortly after and during the Nardcore exodus.
Yeah. You talked about this in the previous episodes.
Right.
I think that what would be. Wait, how do I want to phrase this? Oh yeah, I just want to tell a story that will make you really sad, Will. I want to shit on you a little bit.
Go ahead.
I want to tell the story about how Edubs ended up in Ohio. One day I wrote to Tangelo, and we had just gotten Timbits into the server. And it had been like a good revitalization, because Timbits was covering a lot of the holes in the community at the time. Like at the time, like discussion about anime was really weak because everyone knew each other's taste so well that no one really talked anymore. So we needed like some fresh blood and stuff, right? And we were also getting like a few too many people who were like real into Feels Hour and not so much into like talk about interesting things hour.
Dude, that's literally me in Yardcore.
So like Timbits came in and like filled it up by actually talking about art and shit and being interesting, and also like having a new person to get to know who was actually really active. Like it revitalized the server a lot. And I was really hungry for a second wave of that shit, right? So I was like, Tangelo, you're like my window into like the remnants of Digicord. Can you like give me a cool person? Just, I'll give you full control. I won't even have a hand in recruitment for the first time. I won't even interview the guy. Because, like, before that, I had interviewed every single person who I put in there, right?
Interview?
Yeah, I interviewed. Okay. I called it an interview to make them nervous, but it was actually just an info dump about telling them about the server, right? And what they were about to get engaged. There was actually no fail state. Like, everyone I interviewed got in. I never, like, failed anyone. But it was, like, it was a deal to basically, like, make them feel like they were coming into an important place. So they would take it more seriously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never did that with Edubs. And I was like, Tangelo, you can put this person in the server however you want. Just give me a name. Who's cool? And Tangelo gave me 2 names. Endless Ennui and Edubs.
Yeah, well, those are 2 great choices. I'm not going to lie.
Initially, when they both came in, Endless was pretty active, and Edubs would just shut the fuck up and didn't say anything, right? And then after like a month, I told Tangelo, like, can you like ask Edubs if he even wants to be here? And after that, Edubs started becoming really, really active. And now Endless is just not active at all, right? It's like he's forgotten.
Endless is a big Nardcore guy nowadays.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, like you find
Endless
your place,
is
right?
like full on Nerdcore, pretty much.
Yeah. I understand that. Like some places fit for some people and other things don't fit for other people, right? Like the cultures are very different.
True.
But he didn't mention me, Tangelo. Cringe.
No, that's what I want to say. Like if you're listening to this and you are not Edubs or Endless Ennui, Tangelo thinks you're cringe. That's all I want to say.
No, I wasn't really talking to Tangelo yet back then. most of my interaction with Tangelo over time has been him, as I said, just like tagging me with a fucking random metal album or any album in music. And I'm like, yo, that's based.
So am I gonna get the question?
Right, you will. Before I ask you though, like recently Tangelo was just talking with Yard in music chat, and he just like randomly linked something. He wasn't even talking to me. I was just, well, I'll click on that because it's the Tangelo album. Everyone should click on the Tangelo albums. They will always be good, or like at least interesting. And god damn, that shit slapped so fucking hard. It just turned my brain into like liquid. I don't remember what it's called. Internet Protocol, the album, I think. But it was really, really fucking cool. And I liked it. Might put a sample like right here in the podcast. Okay. Yeah, the question. Proto Man, Whatta?
I got Tangelo into Proto Man.
Based.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Based.
Like, back in very early Ohio, we had this thing called Album of the Week. So we would take turns, and everyone on like their week got to like basically show from an album, and everyone else had to listen to it.
Dude, that's such a fucking good idea.
It was awful. No one ever did it. But,
what?
Like, I think it's a really good idea if everyone's really engaged with it. But basically, like me and Tangelo were really engaged, and like some other people did it some weeks. But everyone else was just waiting for their own week and didn't engage with other people's albums, and it was really gay.
That's cringe. Listen, Digicord, listen to me. Even Yardcore to a certain extent. All right. Actually, people who are okay. Captain Virgo Muncher, Kikoman, Tangelo, Warp, and Yard, and E-dubs. I'll include you in that, E-dubs. Dark as well.
That's fair.
I don't think Dark listen to these, but whatever. Let's do this in Digicord. Let's do album of the week. I will literally organize this. I will tag each of us one by one.
Talk to Tangelo about it. He was organizing it, so he'll know how to do it.
Okay. I will.
Or maybe don't, because he fucked it up apparently.
Right. Okay. Whatever. I know how to organize shit. I'll tag each of you guys one by one, and you better have a fucking album each week.
Yeah.
Well, no. Each week it will be a different person. Yeah, one person.
Yeah.
And everyone has to engage with it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So So E-dubs, you will know this guy, right? There's this guy in Ohio called Herpes, right? You know the guy.
Yeah.
Herpes is my IRL friend, who I watch every single anime I watch with Herpes.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. And Herpes listens to a lot of fucking music. And Herpes is like Econ. Herpes is like a fucking distillation of 4chan, okay? Like, Herpes like grew up on A, but he's way more wholesome than Econ. Like he's not the argumentative guy, but he's still like steeped in that culture, right?
Yeah.
So like the only shit Herpes ever listens to is like Toho and like anime shit, and then he listens to like prog rock that's discussed on Mew, pretty much.
That's literally me, dude.
Especially the stuff that like makes it to A. Like some music will make it to A. Like you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like the Proto Man, right? Will sometimes be mentioned there because there's like anime people will usually like the Proto Man because of storytelling alliance, right? So I was just like we were cooking food.
Revolutionary man Thomas Light.
Yeah, dude. We were cooking food and the Father of Death was playing in the background. And I was like, initially, I was like, what the fuck? You listen to country? What is this bullshit? Right? and then he turned it off, and I didn't hear it again. And then like, yeah.
True.
So and then like 5 months later, I found it through some other source. So maybe he recommended it to me again. I think it was still via Herpes, right?
Yeah.
And I listened to it like I had a lyric sheet. I was reading along the story. I sat on my mom's floor and I listened through like both albums in one go. And then I was crying and I was like, this is the second best album ever. I'll never betray Saint Elsewhere by Gnarls Barkley, the best piece of music ever created.
Yeah.
God, Proto Man is so fucking good. I don't give a shit. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's really good. So when Tangelo had the first album of the week, so he did a fucking King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is also pretty bass, not gonna lie.
Yeah. And then I had the second week, and I put in The Father of Death, like the second Protoman album. And Tangelo became obsessed with it for a week and was really into it. But then Tangelo's like one of those guys who's like, Act 2 is great, but Act 1 is the shit. Like, that's Tangelo's take.
Dude, I love them, like, equally.
I do love them both, for sure.
Like, when I listen to Proto Man, I usually try to listen to all of it. And when I'm listening to any given album, I'm like, yeah, this is the best one. When I'm listening to any given song, I'm like, yeah, this is the best song.
I have an analogy, right? So I'm going to assume you guys have seen Ting and Toppa Gurren Lagann, right?
Of course. It's my favorite anime.
And now I'm going to slightly less confidently assume that you've seen Dead Leaves.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay. Act 1 is Dead Leaves. Act 2 is Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not
right.
Well, wait, hold up.
Exactly?
I had to think about that for a little bit more second.
I think Act 1 is short, chaotic, experimental, right to the point, and really like it hits you hard. And
okay, not in this, not like in the story of Dead Leaves.
No. I mean like what it does to you, like as art, what it fucking hits you.
I thought you were coming at it from a place of like quality wise, like this is how much better.
Oh.
2 is.
Well, no, I think that like there are people who would be like Dead Leaves is better than Gurren Lagann, and those people will also say I think that Act 1 is better than Act 2, and then there's people who are like
let me have a slightly better comparisons.
Oh yeah, shoot! This is the first thing that came in my ass.
Act 1 is Space Patrol Luluco, while Act 2 is Gurren Lagann.
That works too. I just like Dead Leaves better. So.
Dead Leaves is cool.
Yeah. But I don't
know.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. If you have Luluco, right, you get like Imaishi being bass, right? But then if you have Dead Leaves, you get Imaishi being bass and Takeshi Koike being even more bass, which is the red line guy.
Yeah.
So, like,
I can't think about Dead Leaves for longer than 10 seconds without laughing.
Dude, he fucking drilled up his ass. What is there not to love about that shit, dude?
Broke out of jail by having anal sex.
Yes! It's brilliant!
It's pretty base.
Dead Leaves is pretty fun.
Wait, have you not seen it, Will?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh,
I've seen it twice.
Okay.
It's amazing. I love Dead Leaves, dude.
Well, actually, while we are on anime, real quick, Whatta, you got a Mal?
I do have a Mal. I have the highest power level in Ohio. I am very proud of that.
Good.
It took me 4 years to claim that throne because Cappy was so fucking far ahead of me. But I've been on a grind. I just hit like 670 or some shit. I've been.
Wow, that's ahead of me. Just link it. All right.
Yeah, it's in the thing.
Let me just look at it while we continue the podcast.
It's funny because there is a Mal called Whatta that is not me, and it has really shit taste. And I know when I've like come back to lurk in Digicord sometimes, that shit has been linked to slander about me.
Yeah, Dark has the same problem. He has a Mal that has his name, and he can't get it.
Well, I have the same problem. My Mal is Wildedill Boy because some guy made a Wildedill account and never fucking existed. He never did anything.
Yeah. So what about things is actually my username. Whatta is a nickname. That just became more popular than my username, so I started just using it. Mm-hmm. But I was always What About Figs as a kid.
What About Things? Okay. I'm always Dill because
there was some fucker so I've been running community since I was like 10, right? So I used to run the forums in my Tribal Wars clan as the forum administrator, and some guy there just stopped calling me What About Things and started calling me Whatta, and I was like, I like that, and then I started using it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I just really like dill pickles. So here I am.
yeah. This is my Mal. It's not. I watch a lot of seasonals because me and Herpes watch seasonals every week.
See, okay. Here's the thing with every Mal account I ever encounter. They always have, well, not always, but sometimes they have more anime completed than me. They never have more watch time than me.
Oh yeah, because you see fucking Gundam though. Like, dude. Like, That's some tough shit. Like, I think that I have some long shows on my mouth because I fucking watched all of Naruto, and I watched like
well,
I've skipped out on some episodes of Black and White, but I've seen all of Pokemon like in order as not a kid.
yeah. So,
Like, I've seen some big fucking shows. I watched Space Brothers, dude.
If I was,
Who the fuck watches Space Brothers?
I
was
watched
honest-
55 episodes of Space Brothers. It's on hold for like 5 years now.
Yo, you fucking watch Space Brothers, dude.
I want to. If I ever finish it, I'll just restart it though.
Okay,
Because,
no. Do you know what? I'm gonna spoil one thing for you. It doesn't actually spoil any plot event. It's just like it will let you not be disappointed. It's a 99 episode anime that ends with go read the manga. So,
right? Yeah, no, I know. I'm aware of that. Right.
That
But yeah,
hurt.
not only do I have, of course, watched Gundam. I also have all the long shonens like Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, and all that shit. But also, I really love to rewatch things, and so that bloats my watch time a whole bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, me and
I
Will are
rewatch
the-
a lot of stuff, but mostly movies.
Yeah, me and Will, I think, are the rewatch boys. If I was honest about how many times I've rewatched Hunter x Hunter, then my MAL would be even more like overinflated for watch time compared to completed than it already is.
See, I only have a guess for the first 3 Symphogear seasons, and I'm pretty sure it's between 25 and 35 rewatches for each of those. But it's like it's in there, so I don't know. So my MAL is just in there.
I just admit this now. I have not seen Symphogear. It's been in my plan to watch pre-downloaded anime folder for like 4 years. I'll get to it.
Delete it and download my torrent.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Will has a torrent.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
there's
plug it
only
right
links
here
of Symphogear.
on nya.c. It's called
What torrent do I have?
Desio. It's
Wait,
the
what
whole
I have?
series. It's 101 gigabytes. And
Let's see which one I have. Let's go to Kanti, backlog, Symphogear. It's fuck, did I put it in maybe never my folder for shows I don't think I'll actually get to.
you better change that priority.
It fucking is there. It is in maybe never. Oh fuck. Okay, I literally just have season 1 by Kami.
Okay. All right, fair enough. You'll get to it.
Okay.
You better get to it. Anyway.
I'll get to it.
So what do we even want to talk about now?
I don't fucking know. Okay, how about this? Have you fine folks read Spirit Circle?
I've not read Spirit Circle, no.
E-dubs, have you read Spirit Circle? E-dubs?
Yeah, sorry, what?
Have you read Spirit Circle?
I have not read Spirit Circle.
Let me preach to you from
Hold
the
on.
Church of Spirit Circle.
Is Spirit Circle the manga by the same guy as
Who did Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer, yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right.
It's number 1 on my manga favorites list on my mouth. So my friend Herpes has been on a campaign over the past 3 years to say read Spirit Circle to as many people as possible all over the internet.
So that's a manga, right?
Yes.
How long is it?
6 volumes.
Okay.
It's very, very digestible.
Oh,
Spirit
based.
Circle is, I would say, the most 10 out of 10 thing I have consumed in the way that, like, there is nothing I can say about Spirit Circle where I can go like, oh, this feels odd, or this feels like it doesn't belong.
Right.
It's just like this, it's the most complete package I've ever seen, and everything in it is good. Does it do as much as some other things? No. Like, it's short, it doesn't accomplish as many things. But it is like the best telling of the thing. It's like ping pong in anime, right? Like, ping pong is very similar.
Funny.
In that it doesn't do too many things, but it does everything it does fucking excellently. And you can't take anything out or put anything in.
I was literally just about to say that the most recent thing that I had that reaction to was ping pong because I watched it.
Yeah, and ping pong is also like one of my favorite anime ever.
I watched it
And
for the
also
first
I'm
time. Dude, ping pong.
All right. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
That's a really, really good pitch for Spirit Circle.
Yeah.
Now that I know it's only 6 volumes, I'm very interested because honestly I don't really read manga.
Yeah.
If you see on my MAL, I've sent you a
This
friend
will-
request, but
This manga will never be adapted. Just like don't wait for an anime. It's not happening.
okay, sure.
Um,
But yeah, I don't really read manga. I'm only like keeping up with Attack on Titan month by month. However, I do read manga sometimes. And here's my pitch.
Read Spirit Circle.
Oh well, I see you already have my pitch here because you have on your favorite characters Cheeto from Girls Last Tour.
Oh yeah, I actually have that entire manga on my shelf right here.
Me too. It's right here, right
I
behind
have not read it yet. The Cheeto placement is based on the anime, but Cheeto is the most literally me character I've ever experienced in my life.
Okay,
like
that's really
Cheeto
fucking
is
cool. That's fucking based.
Cheeto is a forum administrator waiting to happen.
All right, so all right, let me pitch you the Girls Last Tour manga right here because you really like the anime.
I love the anime.
Me too.
I have already purchased the manga. I will read it. I just haven't gotten to it.
Me too. The anime is like extremely solid. Great adaptation of the first four volumes. It's perfect. The music is great. Animation is great. Voice performance, everything's great about it. I think I give it a 9. I love it.
They play the cup song in it.
Yeah.
It's not the cup song, but it's the fucking cup song.
They get drunk under the moonlight, and anyway, it's really fucking awesome. It's the best thing ever. The manga, at least. The manga goes beyond the anime. 2 more volumes.
Yeah.
And these 2 volumes elevate it to the next fucking level. Quite literally, right? Because they go up the levels.
Were you the one who gave Tangelo the recommendation to read this manga?
No, that might have been Rogel.
Because Tangelo is like the biggest Girls Last Tour fan I know. Like, Tangelo likes 2 things. Tangelo likes Gurren Lagann. No, wait, he likes Bebop. And then he likes Gurren Lagann below that. But he likes Bebop, and he likes Girls Last Tour. And those are like the fucking North Stars of his anime taste, right?
That's based. So you really just gotta read Girls Last Tour, the manga.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best manga there is. It's not matched by anything. And also, here's my pro tip recommendation. Sure, you can read the manga while listening to the anime soundtrack. The anime soundtrack is amazing. It will go very well with the manga. But pro tip, Godspeed You Black Emperor.
What is that?
Godspeed You Black Emperor is a post-rock band from Montreal, my hometown. It's my favorite band of all time.
Okay.
But they make those really long pieces and really epic pieces. But like,
wait, I just want to say, this is the first time I've ever been friend requested by someone I'm podcasting with while I'm podcasting with. You fucking
based.
Anyway.
That was smooth.
Anyway, so they make those really like long and epic, but also like really, really dark pieces, like about the end of the world, and sometimes it's really, really atmospheric. Like we referenced it in last episode, me and Tangelo, when we were talking about like the French, the Canadian anthem. We're like, oh, the car's on fire and there's no driver at the wheel. That's how their first album, their first songs begins, right? It's like this. Is really...
this how you make Girls Last Tour go Dragon Force? Is this how you do it?
Exactly. That's how you. If you read the manga while listening to Godspeed You Black Emperor, I would recommend either the album F#, A# Infinity, so their first, or Luciferian Tower, or the last.
You know what?
So
I have
last.
a day off work tomorrow. I just might do that.
So yeah, do that. Go Dragon Force with Girls Last Tour and Godspeed. You will love it. You will love both the manga and the album. Yeah. It will be amazing. I've always wanted to do an AMV of Girls Last Tour about this scene where you know the scene.
You should do one of those manga music videos then.
No,
there's like panels sliding in and shit.
I want to do it with the anime because you know the scene when they get into the big robot and she like presses button and the robot like shoots a huge laser and destroys the city, and so they're in the same song that me and Tangelo quoted. The guy keeps talking and there's a line which is and the skyline was beautiful on fire, all twisted metal stretching upwards. And it's literally like what you see in Girls Last Tour, with like the giant robots walking in the flaming city. And it's like, holy shit! I gotta make this scene with that song.
The skyline was beautiful on fire, all twisted metal stretching upwards. Everything washed in a thin orange haze.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, have you ever thought about how much? Oh, Edubs, go. I've talked over you this whole.
oh
podcast.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say like I could fucking pitch Girls Last Tour to you, and I haven't even read it, and my pitch would just be Will and fucking I'm assuming Rogal have convinced a lot of people to go read it, and everybody that I've seen read it was like, yeah, I cried. It was the best thing ever, essentially. So I mean,
I'm already convinced. Like as I said, Shido is my second favorite anime character of all time.
Yeah.
Just from the anime, because again, like, so I have this friend called Yuxet, right? Who's like my childhood friend here in Sweden, and Yuxet is like literally the blonde girl in Girls Last Tour, like his personality, everything. And I feel like I'm like literally Chi-chan. And watching that anime was like, what if me and Yuxi were like the last people on the planet? What fights would we have? How would we interact? Everything. The only difference is that he would be driving because I don't have a driver's license.
See, I think I would be like a mix of both.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
dude, that fucking
Girls Last Tour is fucking awesome. Watch it,
is.
read it, listen to it, do everything. Fuck yeah.
And if you like the art style of Girls Last Tour, do I have a fucking recommendation for you? In the chat right now, I linked Kanini Sasuwarete, which is translated as An Invitation by a Crab, which is a collection of short manga by this mangaka that just goes by the pen name Pampanya. This dude is like... so my friend Herpes reads a lot more manga than I do. And also Herpes, also Tangelo's read this. And they both say that, like, this dude has, like, snorted the art style of Girls Last Tour since childhood and created, like, a way more, like, loose but distilled down version of it in a way more ethereal setting.
See, that's really interesting because when I... Like, obviously the Girls Last Tour mangaka, Sukumizu, or TK Miz, is, like, really popular on the internet because they're like in the internet themselves, and I see on Twitter a lot. Like I follow a lot of artists on Twitter that spend them out, but there's a lot of copycats of their style, because it's so unique. It's so like so striking, and I see a lot of people try to imitate it because it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, Pampanya is not a copycat. Pampanya is definitely its own beast, but it's like clearly in the same world. Like I don't think that Pampanya is like even that inspired by Girls Last Tour particularly, because like they started publishing pretty fucking early on, I think. But they're just cut from the same cloth,
right?
And if you just click the mouth page and you just see like the picture on the cover of this manga, you see the little white-haired girl and the background and shit. You can see that, like, you can probably instantly sort of realize what it is I mean with it when I say that. It's very, like, short, ethereal stories. It's, like, it's from the fucking cloth of, like, what if Nichijou was existentialist and not funny, but also kind of funny at the same time? Like,
okay.
Like, she'll just find a pineapple and, like, eat it, and then it will, like, think about if pineapples feel pain and shit like that. But it's still like kind of funny and lighthearted and doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's great.
Right.
It's
I see
really
it here.
fucking
It seems fairly interesting. Yeah, but God, just read those mangas, guys. Just do it.
I will. Yes. But that was my manga rant. That was something I could fucking talk about.
Yourself included, Edubs. Yourself included.
About what?
Edubs just need to stop playing fighting games and start consuming real media like manga, anime, and other cool shit.
Listen.
Very
before I joined, listen. I've gone in and out of being an active consumer of
Dude, you said the C word.
Yeah, I kind of go to be honest. I kind of go back and forth. I'm very infamously inconsistent with my media consuming habits. So yeah, good luck with that. But I will attempt to eventually. Yeah, but I'm still I got really hype about reading Berserk, and I got all the way up to like towards the end of the eclipse, and then I haven't read it in literally probably like 2 months. So I'm very not
Man,
good at this.
I think I might be one of the like rare people who just doesn't like Berserk.
Really?
Because Berserk's art style just doesn't hit for me.
Well,
I don't
I
know.
literally
It
can't
just
understand that
feels
opinion. I'm
really.
sorry.
It's like I don't know. It's like it's way too black to be that sharp, in my opinion.
To be that
Which
sharp?
if you
Is
take
that what you said?
yeah, like every single line in Berserk is like really sharp. There's no like. It's not like these other mangas that I like that are way more loose with the
The
pen.
Berserk
And
art
there's way
style
more,
is
like,
the
diffuse
polar
stuff.
opposite of Girls Last Door.
Yeah, like Berserk is like he uses the sharpest fucking thinnest pens and draws the most perfect lines every time, right?
Girls Last Door is literally sketches.
But then it's also really really dark.
But the thing
And
about it is that he stuffs like literally every single panel with like
yeah,
so much detail. It's so crazy.
yes, but because it's so sharp and so dark, I just find it like difficult to comprehend a lot of the
It
time.
definitely
And I
can
feel like
be
it's
at times.
it just that for me like hampers my experience with the story because it doesn't feel fluid to read Berserk. And I have like nothing against the story of Berserk conceptually, and I'm nothing against like the character designs and the stuff like. Honestly, I'm waiting for the day it gets an honest, good adaptation. I'm just waiting, dude. It's never gonna happen, but
Fucking
God, I wish
never.
it does one day. Like I'll wait until I fucking die because like I just feel like the way Berserk is constructed stops me from enjoying what I think is a good story, and so I'm unable to consume more of it right now. Maybe I'll mature out of that, but for now, I can't really watch it or read it. I mean, or watch it as well because the anime is all fucking stuff.
Yeah, I like reading the Berserk manga. Don't get me wrong. I very much do enjoy reading the Berserk manga. I do just wish there was a good anime, but like I think with the level of, I think with his specific style, where so much of the like his individual art is like his character art and all that stuff is like very good, but like the majority of what makes his art truly like transcendent is just the pure amount of detail that he's able to pack into all of it and the consistent stylings that it has. And I definitely think that that does not translate very well into animation at all, like in the slightest.
I mean, I'll give you a comparison. I'm pretty consistent with not liking this art style because I think it's actually pretty similar to like Junji Ito art in a lot of ways.
Right,
and I'm
right,
definitely not into Junji Ito either. I don't like that guy's stuff. Even though like what interests me in Junji Ito is that I think he writes some pretty compelling narratives, but I hate everything about his art style, so I can't really read it. You know?
Yeah.
I also do physically puke when I see pages of his stuff. So at least Berserk doesn't do that to me.
Fucking see, I think Berserk. I kind of agree with you, Wada. It's just that, like at one point the story is just so good. I just don't really care that the drawings don't really appeal to me. Like on the fundamental level, even like sometimes, sort of like I just like get taken aback because there's like too much things on the page. I'm like, holy shit! Hold on, what's going on here, right? But it does look amazing. It looks so fucking crazy sometimes. Yeah.
I think that my taste is also like really in line with loose. I use the word ethereal, right? Like I like it when it's really diffuse what's actually going on the page. And I like it when the world feels like I can scratch at it with my nail and it like falls apart and I can see something underneath.
So Girls Last Door.
Yeah, like Girls Last Tour, or like one thing I've been reading recently, and I've gotten like 6 out of 8 volumes into it, is Fire Punch, which me and my friend dub as Kino Punch. It's just like it's this
a big
dude
meme on A.
What?
This manga is a big meme on A.
Dude, it's fucking brilliant. I love that shit, right? Like, and as like my friend Herpes is distilled in A. Why do you think we're reading Fire Punch, right? Like,
also just to give you an example of how bad my media habits are. I don't know if you know this about me, Wada, but I spent literally 9 years, I think it was 9 years, somewhere in that ballpark, watching Ava. And that's not like rewatching it and all that other shit and watching the movies. No, that was watching Ava once. My one watch took like 9 years. So
yeah, or incidentally, You have like 10,000 hours in War Thunder. That's also a bad habit.
No, that's base though, because
Uh,
it's planes. I mean, come on, bro.
Planes.
Fucking
I
planes.
have
Damn,
I have
he
a
does
few,
this flying. Look at him.
I have a few anime I'm approaching that kind of stat with, where they're like, their anime I ended up dropping either because of circumstance, because the person I was watching them with dropped them, and I had to continue them solo. I never found the motivation, or just like I didn't like them, but because they're such classics, I force myself to not admit that I've dropped them because I want the points of having seen them, so that I can actually talk about why I didn't like them.
Yeah.
So for example, right, like I have fucking Bokurano on like 7 episodes on hold for like the last 5 years. Um, I'm still 10 episodes into the second season of Code Geass, and I refuse to watch it, and I refuse to
Well,
drop
it's a
it.
good
This is
thing
this
that
is something that Dark.
It's a good thing that this is season 2 of Code Geass, because season 2 especially is fucking awful. So
I mean, I hate season 1 of Code Geass as well.
Yeah.
I literally watched that show.
here's the
obligation.
thing with Code
This is-
Geass though, and sorry, Will, I am gonna cut you off because I feel like I need to let Wada know this since he's not in on my opinion on this. Fucking Code Geass, at least as like a case study of like drama within a work.
Mm.
Like I think it works because it is very dramatic and it is very gripping and intense, even if it's kind of fucking stupid. And I do think
It's really dumb.
and what?
It's really dumb.
I mean, even if you didn't personally have that experience, I think the amount of people that have had that experience, like it's kind of something that's hard to deny. Just the fact that it did draw so many people in that way. And I
Yeah.
do think that there are some genuinely like, and they might just be because of the cliches, but like the stuff at the end of season 1 where it's like fucking Suzaku Rarusha and then they shoot each other, like that stuff's like pretty hype. I don't know. But season 2 is
It is, but like, there's also the parts where they're like, we're gonna bake the biggest fucking pizza with our nuts, and there is nothing you can do about it. Like, that's the
season
fucking
2
Hunter x Hunter grandma motorcycle moment
the
of
fucking
Code
season
Geass,
2
dude.
the fucking pizza episode and the cat fucking running away with the fucking mask episode. You know,
And then they fucking like, spoilers for Code Geass, by the way. Like, if you haven't fucking seen this show, fuck you. It's old. And then right after the pizza episode, like directly following it,
It's
they
the
have
bloody
fucking scene
Yuffie
where they
episode.
Yeah, they have the mind wash, shoot all, like kill them all episode, which is like,
yeah, that's right.
best ever.
Fucking Yuffie Miyagi does her big speech at the pizza fucking episode. Like
Yes!
at the pizza.
It's so fucked up. Like this is probably Code Geass, is that it constantly tries to sell genuinely interesting things during genuinely retarded moments.
Dude, the genuinely retarded moments is just, it's the whole entire series. Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
See, okay.
It's retarded series. I agree.
See, I always liked
spoilers-
Code
wait, wait, wait.
Geass because of its retardation and every fucking because it's so over the top, right?
But it doesn't
But
work
then
with the tone, I think.
I always had the opinion that the school stuff was really fucking stupid and I hated it. And then I met Conrad and Clayton, who are the biggest Code Geass stans, and apparently the school is their favorite part. So I'm like,
I mean,
huh.
like here's the thing. My problem is not the school stuff, and my problem is not the global
just
economic
incels.
mech fights. My problem is that they tried for this juxtaposition and it doesn't work for me. Like, I don't enjoy the gap that they're going for in this show, and I don't think it's working out for them. That's what drives me off. I think that the mech stuff ruins the school stuff, and the school stuff ruins the mech stuff. And they're supposed to, like, have chemistry with each other and build, like, something greater out of these two segments, and it just doesn't. It falls flat every single time. And that's why I hate Code Geass.
I mean, fair enough.
And then season 2 is cringe.
Let's talk
So-
about the fact that you are doing this story about a prince who's rebelling against this fantastical version of a historical empire that has only gotten more powerful in this alternate universe in history, and he's like the son of the most powerful guy in the world, and then instead of having that guy be the main antagonist and having like a bunch of thematic shit with that guy, you just have his fucking brother who's a complete non-character and is just like, I'm the evil guy and I'm the tropey guy, and they just have like, there's just a bunch of good guys on the bad guy side for no reason, and there's a bunch of bad guys on the good guy side for no reason, just so it can have the facade of being some kind of like deep thing, and they have their big final. It's so fucking stupid. I hate especially the second season so fucking much of that show.
I'll say this, right? Is that like the thing that show survives on is the fact that the usage of the Gaia's power that he has is really well done and really interesting. Because it does like the whole Death Note thing, but in a pretty cool way with a different spin on it.
Yeah.
And that is like the one thing I really enjoyed in that show.
True. And the cool
But
robots.
I refuse to drop it because I want to be able to say I fucking hate Code Geass, but I finished that shit.
Okay. Going back to that, this is something that Dark, well, I would say joining Digicord in general, but mostly Dark has made me learn, and it's dropping things is kind of not fun anymore. I don't like to watch something and leave it there. I want to know the whole thing. I have to know, even if I absolutely hate my life watching it.
I watch. Okay, I do this show on Ohaiyo Nation's YouTube channel called Chart Party, where I go over every single season of Chart and say what I'm gonna try and what I'm not gonna try. And I try like 25 shows every season. And I do not watch 25 shows in a season. So like seasonals, I will drop in 7 minutes if they are cringe. Like, I don't give a fuck. But when I go for a classic and I'm like, this is a classic, I want to give it a fair shot, I mostly finish it even if it's bad. For example, this year I finished Utna and scored it a 6.
What?
Which is... yes. I have had Miki and me have fought a lot of battles.
You
like
gave
this.
Utna a 6?
I give Utna a 6.
Holy shit.
Hold on, I'm finding the Canadian nuclear keys. About to drop a nuke on Sweden.
You don't fucking have any of those. You have to borrow them from E-dubs. Just fucking second-hand nukes. Basically my take on Utna, for example, right, is that Utna is a really smart and interesting show with a lot of really cool thematics and really well-written characters, but it's fucking boring to watch and I don't care.
How? Literally how?
It's just not fun.
Have you seen this show and heard it?
Yeah, I watched 36 episodes. I watched every single fucking one of them. Or 39, I don't fucking know. I watched the whole thing.
You fucking... What?
And I was pretty sure of this opinion around like episode 11, and then I was like, I'll finish it. I'll see if it changes, and it never did. And throughout the entire show, I am very engaged with these characters and the thematics and the plot and the fucking ideas. Like, that's all really interesting. But like, I just don't care on the surface level. And because like I have this idea, right, that like if a show is to really interest me, like it can't just be cool. It also has to be interesting and fun to actually watch. Like, so there's this old dichotomy that Digi talked about back in the day called the experiential value versus the contemplative value.
I get all that. I just don't get how it applies to Utana.
It's just not that cool. Look, I'll give you this. Every time in Utna, when they say go guy, suddenly it's a 10 out of 10 for a minute. But like, and also I really
Isn't that like the best thing ever?
As I said, the repeated sequence is really cool. Yeah.
Thanks, fam.
This is not a spoiler. This plays in every episode.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that for future reference. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As I said, every time Mokushiroku is said, or Gogai is said, the show is incredibly based and fun to watch for about a minute. But then, like...
Kashira, gozonshi Kashira.
Dude, yeah, it's awesome. But, like, whenever the student council is just, like, riding their elevator up, and then they're talking, and there's just random items in the background that don't really actually connect to what they're saying, and like you think that they are, and you try to figure out, and like, why is there a fucking balloon in the background? And like, no, there's just actually no point. Like, that balloon is just there because he wanted something to move on the screen, because it didn't have the fucking like time and production staff to actually like animate anything interesting. It's just dialogue, and like a lot of that shit just fucking grinds my gears. And then there's also a lot of Utna that isn't actually that interesting, Like, for example, when they're sending the blonde chick off to India for a day.
That's
Or
fucking
like,
hilarious.
like, I'll say this. That is like one of the most fun episodes. But the problem with that episode is that it instead has like almost no contemplative value, right? So like,
That's not even true.
it's not entirely, but you get what I mean. It's way less at least. Because it's like I feel like whenever the show is fun to watch, it's because it's taking a break from being good.
Look,
And whenever the show is good, it's because it's not really focusing on being fun to watch. So that like there's so much positive stuff in Utena that it just feels like a lot of wasted potential to me.
See,
And that's why I'm not into it.
This
is why Ikuhara's absolute masterpiece and his greatest anime is Mamoru Penguin Drum.
I'm completely baffled by this take. But sure, whatever.
Mamoru Penguin Drum is based and amazing. Also, the Utena movie, Adolescence, is like an high 8 to a low 9 and like a great movie. I love that movie. I think that movie is fan-fucking-tastic.
That's true. That is very true. What were you talking about before you mentioned Utena?
No, just generally like the idea of like
right, not dropping things.
I finished them.
If it's classic, right? So, Gundam. This brings me to Gundam, of course, because
I've seen no Gundam. Just
right.
gonna throw it out there.
So Gundam, a lot of it is really good. 0079, Zeta's good. ZZ's good. Char's counterattack is good. Whatever. Turn A is a masterpiece.
One day when I'm like 40 and I don't have a job and I'm in like early retirement because like I'm so fat that my fucking hip gave out and I'm in a wheelchair, I'll watch Gundam.
Anyway, Turn A is masterpiece. Unicorn is masterpiece. Anyway, a lot of Gundam is really good. A lot of Gundam is really fucking bad. And this brings me to, I mentioned it twice now, but Gundam Seed with Dark, 1 week in the voice chat, 100 episode, both of us absolutely losing our minds, but also Gundam Wing. And I think a lot of people in Digicord will remember this very clearly from our generation of me and Ida's. But Gundam Wing was quite the arc because it's trash, it's really bad. But I had to go through all of it because, like, it's Gundam. Like, I felt obligated to.
Look,
and, like,
that actually comes to a thing, right? Like, so I actually got into this argument in Ohio today. We were talking about grinding in RPG games, and I promise I'll relate this back to your Gundam point. Where I was basically saying, like, we were all like, okay, so Timbits is obsessed with this game called Trials of the Sky and that whole series. He's entirely obsessed with it. He's gotten almost all of Ohio to play that fucking game now.
True.
And I recently started playing it. And Timbits is like, you don't need to grind in this game. But I want to. So I have completely broken the game by spending like the first 12 hours just grinding up my starting character until I can one-shot everything in the first like half of the game.
Right.
And he's like, why did you do this? And I'm like, bro, the grinding in a role-playing game is the role-playing. Without the grind, it's no longer an RPG, it's just a G.
Right.
Like, because if you put yourself in the shoes of the character, you ain't gonna go fucking out there to die. You're gonna be scared shitless, like in Height Against the Grimgar, and be like, I ain't fighting a goblin, fuck you. I wanna one-shot that thing before I step even like a feet outside of the city, you know?
Well, I think it would depend on what you consider the R part, like the RP part, because like if you're playing a role, you might not necessarily be yourself. If you're Cloud, you're not really thinking about that. You're more thinking about the circumstances in the story that are pushing you to actually go. So I mean,
So right, that's a half of this take, right? The second half is that mowing the lawn is really fucking satisfying. Like, have either of you mowed the lawn ever?
Yes.
Okay,
I
like
live in
a
America.
big square
of course
lawn.
I have mowed lawns.
Like, and I don't mean like with a fucking electric. Like, have you had like a pushy?
Yes.
Like the ones that make you sweaty, right?
Yes.
Like the slow progress of like seeing that entire lawnmower slowly turn dark green rather than light green is like really satisfying. And you want to get into every nook and cranny. You want to like make sure you like did the whole thing. It's like cutting a JPEG out from its background pixel by pixel, right? Like it's really satisfying. That is what I think is the appeal of finishing Gundam Seed being a Gundam fan.
Yeah.
It's just mowing the lawn. It's grinding for the sake of the experience.
That
like,
is
the sense of belonging to this franchise. To like
100%
actually living in it.
accurate. it's also to like dab on people who have really bad taste. Like,
Exactly. Could go inside and dab on my mom and
I
be
don't
like,
know.
"You said I couldn't mow the
like,
lawn. I
hold
fucking
on,
mowed
listen,
every
guys,
square
Listen, guys,
centimeter."
wait. I don't know about this take because I don't know. When it comes to anime, it's completely different for me. I have absolutely no desire to mow the lawn when it comes to anime. That's just me, Mike.
No.
I do.
Edebs, you
With
just-
certain things,
you-
I do.
you-
I really have to. Gundam is one of them. Just mecha in
Let's
general
say-
is one of them.
No,
like
listen.
I watched all of
Yeah.
Mazinger.
Listen, if I
92
didn't-
episodes.
No,
It was absolutely garbage.
I know
No,
that you did. I know that you did, but what I'm saying is like listen, if I didn't genuinely think Gintama was like fucking amazing, I would not be sitting there and watching every single
No,
episode.
here you would, right? Okay, so I'm gonna give you. You just haven't found your lawn yet.
You
So
just
here's the
haven't
thing,
found
like,
your
it's
lawn
true.
yet. He said.
So here's the thing: you haven't found the lawn that's made for you to mow. So I'm gonna give it to you.
Listen,
Okay?
Edebs, when
Like-
you find your lawn, you'll go Dragon Force on it.
No, listen, I found
Dude.
one lawn and I've mowed it over and over again, and that's Hunter x Hunter. That's the lawn that
Nah.
I've mowed.
No, I'm gonna get to that. Hunter x Hunter has not yet become a lawn to you. Because you don't think any part of Hunter x Hunter is bad. Unlike me, I think everything after Chimera Ant is fucking cringe, and a 2. But so for me, I mowed the lawn in Hunter x Hunter. I finished the whole anime of it. I haven't gotten
Wait,
into the
listen.
things afterwards
Fuck
in
the
manga,
time
right?
on this one. Listen, we're gonna go down that rabbit hole here in a minute.
No, here's the thing, right? Imagine, I'm not gonna like argue Aluka arc.
No. We
too
can
much,
keep
because
it
we
short. We
did.
can keep it short. We can keep it
Okay,
short.
okay,
Water. We
but
gotta do
already,
it.
Just remember, we already did argue this. So
No. Listen,
but here's the
listen.
thing.
I am the co-host on this podcast.
Okay,
Listen,
you
you will
decide the
listen to me.
topic.
We will do a small. I promise I'll keep it short. We'll do a small segment
Okay.
on that. Okay.
On the Aluka arc,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, here's the thing.
Neferpito's really
Imagine,
hot.
just imagine, okay? Imagine in your head.
I'm fucking drunk.
Just force yourself to imagine that suddenly Hunter x Hunter is bad for 100 episodes. Okay? But then it's really fucking good again.
Okay.
Can you look me in the eye and say you won't watch those 100 episodes to get to that good part?
I mean,
Will you skip them?
So listen,
Yes.
Edebs, I have a
Yes.
better
Yes,
I have a
will.
better thing.
Listen,
No, this is the perfect example.
No,
I wanted to
I
answer.
promise I have a better example than this.
Listen,
Listen,
No, you
Edebs.
don't.
Because Edebs
Wait.
is currently watching Gundam,
Wait,
all of it.
Wait,
really
I'll-
sort of.
listen. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll answer your thing, Will, but let me answer Watta's real quick. Okay. No. I maybe I would once, but I would never do it again. Because here's the thing.
Yeah. And Will never watch Seed again.
He probably will at some point. Come on.
No,
I
he
will
won't.
not watch Seed again.
Okay.
I will watch the clips of me and Dark reacting to Seed and all the stupid fucking memes I've made from it.
Okay. Because fucking Bleach, right? Like I grew up with Bleach. I love Bleach. Here's what happens anytime I try to rewatch Bleach. I get maybe, and this is already skipping a ton of shit. I get maybe 20 episodes into the first part of the Arrancar arc where they're in the desert, and I just completely lose all interest. I just stop giving any type of shit at all.
But maybe that's because Bleach actually never gets good. Like, have you considered that?
Yeah.
Like,
So here's the thing, Edebs. This is why my example is better. Since you're watching all of Gundam in release order, well, semi-release order, you've skipped to whatever.
Well, I'm probably gonna end up skipping Wing and Seed. I'm sorry. Maybe I won't.
Right,
but
but
we'll see.
that's the thing, right? You've watched 079, Zeta. You're still watching ZZ, right?
Yeah, I'm still like a third of the way through ZZ.
Okay, still watching ZZ. One day you'll get to fucking Wing. And I know you've said that you were going to drop Wing probably. But have you ever considered like watching all of it just to have the experience that I went through? Because I'm not going to lie, even though the show is really fucking bad, it was really fucking fun to watch Wing.
Exactly. Because mowing the lawn is nice and like experientially interesting, even if it sucks.
Yeah, and
Like, at no point when you're mowing the lawn do you enjoy mowing the lawn. But when you mow the lawn, you're constantly like, this is so satisfying.
Yeah.
It sucks, but you can't stop.
Exactly. This is such a fucking perfect metaphor. Listen,
Look. But
when I was watching Wing,
to explain my thing, right? For me, anime history of classics is the lawn, and me mowing it is the fact that I have to watch Utna to say I've seen all the classics.
God, Utena is
right?
such a fucking weird take here.
I literally, I don't even think Utna's that bad. I just wanted, because I know it triggers you, so I just wanted to make you angry choosing it there.
That's at least
Like the real one that was actually just mowing the fucking lawn was watching Ergo Proxy. That was the real fucking hard one.
I mean, I
Jesus
think
Christ.
everyone will agree with this. So.
Yeah, but I fucking watched it.
Yeah. Anyway, so when I was watching Wing, I made like a show out of it. In the Discord, I was like blogging about it. Every episode was like 5 to 20 screen caps with like two wall posts, like me losing my mind, like going crazy, like
Amazing.
and that like it was an event. Like I watched Wing for that month, and the whole server was following along. It's like LMFAO, this show looks fucking terrible, and this is really funny, right?
Yeah.
And you could do part 2 of that, Edubs, if you wanted, you know?
Yeah, I guess that is a thing I could do, huh?
The grass has fucking grown back. Someone needs to mow it again.
I want to see someone go through what I did.
Oh God.
That was,
Okay, but
you
yeah,
know what? That was probably one of my favorite parts of watching of Code Geass with Kazuki. Was just like it felt like everybody was on one big ride with us.
Exactly, that's the same vibe. You and Kazuki watching Geass and like losing your shit in the chat for like 2 weeks.
Jesus. Fucking
Yeah,
chaos.
Code Geass made me write one of those walls where you can't view it within a single Discord window. Like you have to scroll through it. Like
I think there's been like 2 anime that I've done that for.
I can see it in a
was-
single screen because I have my screen on fucking vertical.
well, yeah.
It was Be the Beginning, which I hate, and the like reboot Pokemon movie.
Does
the first
anybody
one,
know
which
what
I
B
hate.
beginning is that doesn't know what it is because they heard about it from Digi? Is it? Do they?
Me?
Okay.
I saw it on the seasonal chart and I watched it on my own
Okay.
accord. I'm an avid consumer of the seasonal chart, so like I know about everything instantly.
Okay.
And I like, yeah.
And what's the second anime?
As I said, the Pokemon reboot movie.
Okay. I have
Which is
multiple
like-
walls on multiple animes.
I think the Pokemon reboot movie is like the thing I have the most strong feelings against. Like that movie hurt me.
I don't think I've ever done like a big wall on something I don't like. It's mostly like screen cap posting and like screaming in the chat.
Yeah. What you have to realize is that I don't play video games. I play Pokemon. That is my video game.
Right.
I live and breathe this shit. Jesus.
But yeah, even if my screen is on vertical, I've had several walls on Violet Evergarden where you can't see all of it in that screen even.
That's another 6.
You...
Ooh, we found the contention. Let's go. I like it. I like this already. This is so good.
It's the exact same thing as Utna. It's the exact same fucking show.
I am fuming right now.
Also, let me just say it. It's true, and you'll cry, but it has too much bloom, and it's not beautiful. It's ugly.
Fuck you.
Oh shit!
Fuck you right back.
The filters
It's
look
true.
great.
They don't.
Okay.
And the
Listen,
hand.
you can't.
the
No, listen.
hand-
You have to stop right fucking
Wait,
now,
wait,
okay?
wait,
Because
wait,
I just went
wait,
through
wait.
an entire arc on Violet Evergarden in the past month, and the whole server is like really aware that I am really into it right now, and that it's like literally changing my life. And so you need. I will just shut the fuck up, okay? Listen.
Okay, I'll tell you what I like about the show.
Listen.
But
I
can
don't
say-
care
can I
what
say
you will
I like
say.
about the show?
I have a fucking Google Doc that has 17 pages.
Of people you're gonna shoot in the head for dissing the show on my anime
No,
reviews.
of things I'm saying on Violet Evergarden because I care too much.
Okay, can I say what episode I really liked in that show?
10?
Like just the positives. It's the episode. I don't know the number. I fucking watched it so seasonally when it came out. I haven't thought about it since.
Oh well, that's probably why you don't like it. you're jumping on the fucking bandwagon.
Wow.
I just
I just watched it with my friend, and I wasn't even fucking talking about anime back then. I was just in Ohio, and no one else watched it. Literally, as me and my friend watched it, and he was an A. I fucking aren't. Like, the one episode that's really fucking good is the episode where they mostly just lay on grass, and she like talks to this like, I think it's like a prince or princess who she's like nannying. I don't fucking remember that well, but that episode was fucking good.
yeah, that's episode 5 or something.
Yeah, that episode was great. I love that.
Every episode is literally perfect, though. Yeah, it's really yeah. See, if you think a show has to be interesting and be fun to watch, quote unquote fun to watch, because obviously fun is very subjective and
Very
something
subjective.
can be
Of
fun
course.
for a lot of reasons. But
Yeah.
you're going to love Symphogear, my friend.
Oh yeah, I fully expect to love Symphogear. I just put that out there. I love, like, one of my favorite things is, like, I watch a lot of fucking weird anime that's just fucking insane. And those are often my favorite. Like, one of my favorite things ever is, like, the Cat Soup OVA by Yuasa, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorite anime. I absolutely love, like, the forgotten Yuasa anime that no one talks about. Kemonozuma is, like, a great thing to me. It's just fucking insane and stupid.
Okay, well, Symphogear is not insane in that vein. Symphogear is insane in the vein that it's the most anime.
But then I also love shit like 18F that everyone else disses. Like, 18F to me is like a great fucking weird-ass show because it's just all over the place with its bullshit. I love old Gonzo shit with, like, PlayStation 1 CGI. I think that's some of the most beautiful shit to watch ever. I love that shit. I love basically every single thing Studio 4C has ever put out. Like Eternal Family or Sweat Punch or fucking weird ass shit like that. And shit that just goes off the fucking rockers. I love that shit. So I fully expect to love Symphogear because I think it's just gonna be like a digital modern version of that shit.
I wouldn't know.
I
don't think I've seen any of the things you've talked about.
I heard Mickey say that line before that Symphogear is the most anime. So I think you guys talked to each other about it as well.
Yeah, we have 2 podcasts currently on it, season 1 and 2.
It's it's the same line he said.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. E-dubs, we just fucking knock Alucard out of the way now.
Hold on. Last point on Symphogear.
Okay.
Listen, here's the kind of anime it is, right? You start a season with a space shuttle crashing down on Earth, and what they do is jump on the space shuttle, riding rockets, of course, up to it, and go through a mountain, and then go down the mountain, riding the space shuttle, and suplexing it over a church in a village.
And
I love that
to
shit.
throw in a little detail here, when they go through the mountain, they literally
Very
have to
important
level,
detail.
They literally have to level the mountain to get through it. And when they level the mountain, instead of just like leveling the mountain and then like leaving it at that, they throw in this part where the fucking
So hold on, let me explain this. C-dubs, I'm sorry. You know, Symphogear is my thing. So you know how in Evangelion,
rude.
you know how in Evangelion there's like the computer guys always are like, it's an angel, cold blue, whatever, like, and they always shout the techno babble and shit.
Yeah.
Symphogear takes that aspect, but like turns it up to 11, like it does with everything, because it's fucking Symphogear. So Symphogear also has the computer guys, and they're always here to shout the fucking stupid ass techno babble and like all the things that are going out, but like it's really fucking over the top. And like,
I love it.
they fucking go through the mountain, they level it, and you see the fucking mountain top go down a layer, and then this guy on his computer, literally on Wikipedia, live updating it. K2 is now the 3rd highest mountain in the world.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fucking
Look,
amazing.
I'm already convinced that I love Symphogear. I've been convinced about that for years. Basically, the time when I downloaded Symphogear was when I saw the a slice of toast, the fucking Baka Opai AMV. A slice of bread, a slice of toast.
Right. I know what yeah.
And it has like the sickest cuts in that thing are all Symphogear. And that's when I downloaded it. because I was like, I have to watch this, and then I never did. But it seems really good.
Yeah. Well, you now have the approval of me. It's the best anime ever. Miki as well.
Dude,
and Yard.
Miki's been telling me. Miki's been look. We already had an Ohio arc where basically like 10 people watched Symphogear together. I mean, my friend Herpes, I said, like, watched it, although I wasn't involved. But like, I think like Sky watched it, Herpes watched it, Miki watched it. I think did Tang watch it? I don't
No,
know
Tang
if he
didn't.
watched it.
Tang watched the first season.
No,
He stopped. Like, it.
Oh yeah, he
Coward.
was along for the first reason, and then he didn't continue. But he was with like that. He was in that wave of people watching it. So like I know a lot about Symphogear, and I've been told to watch it for a while now.
I got it. Now go ahead and fight on Hunter x Hunter.
The last arc of Hunter x Hunter is so fucking bad. You fucking cringe idiot.
Okay, but
how can you like anything after the final fight in Chimera Ant?
Okay, but why?
Because, as I said, when we argued about this last time, all the things that happen just feel like they're just designed to justify like the things that were based about the Chimera Ant, not like fucking up the rest of the story. And so a lot of things come out of the woodworks that just don't make sense. And also like the fucking what it does to Killua's character is really cringe, and I really don't like it. I don't like the existence of Aluka. It feels really weird that he's so attached to her when she wasn't even mentioned in the beginning. It's like Haki in One Piece but turned up to 1 billion. Is
that an issue?
It's just fucking weird.
I wasn't aware.
There's like this whole controversy that in One Piece, some people say that Haki was intended from day one, and some people say it's like it's a plot solution
It
that's
clearly
been
wasn't.
like connected to. Some people say that it was like clearly was like invented after like 10 years of the series existing, and it was designed in a way that some things that happened early in the series could like
there are some things in One Piece, in early One Piece that like hint at Haki. People always point out to like the Skypea with like the mantra thing, but I think it was really just being cool, like cool things happening. It's like when Shanks go on Whitebeard's boat, like the first time, and you see the sky split in two.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, those guys are so fucking strong that the sky split in two. There's no like mechanic behind it. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
But of course, like in the current arcs, there's like, oh yeah, now the sky split in two again.
He intentionally designed Haki in a way that it could explain a lot of things early in the show. And similarly, like Aluka is created in a way where she can fix what happens, but the emotional connection, specifically like the emotional, like loving connection Killua has to her, that makes no sense to me. I don't even dislike the fact that her powers are literal fucking Deus Ex for no reason. Like, that's fine. If you want to have that in a story, I don't mind. But what it does to Killua's character, and like how it doesn't make sense with his action previously, just fucking, I can't stand it.
But what do you mean?
However,
What do you like? But hold on. What do you mean in the sense that it doesn't make any sense? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, how has she not been mentioned at any point in like any of his fucking internal monologues when they had the whole arc home with his family earlier in the show?
Well,
like, at no point did it come up
just
that
to
he has
save
a sister
time,
he loves.
I could give you the literal like just forehead answer that the story provides, which is he was brainwashed.
But I don't buy that.
No.
It's
I know.
Dumb.
And again, that's fine. I think that's a legitimate criticism. My counter to that criticism is that nothing about the. So if you're super focused on the plot and everything like that, then here's what I would say to you. Yes, that might be true, but if you think about it in the sense of, okay, well, something like this for a long running series is somewhat necessary if we're able to get things with the gravitas and excellence that is the Chimera Ant. So if you can't ever come to terms with liking the last part in and of itself, then I think that's fine.
That's literally what it is. I still think Chimera Ant is like a 9.8. I think York New is a 10, and I think Greed Island is like a strong 8 to a weak 9. Like, that part of that manga is like the best shonen collection ever. Everything before then is like slightly above average shonen good stuff, and then that part is like legendary, and then everything after that is cringe until at least where the anime ends, which I haven't consumed more after that.
So, but I think because like I don't know. I just think it works. I think Killua naturally like opens up more over the course of the series. I think Alaka being like a family member, like someone outside of Gon that he or outside of Leorio and Kurapika and everybody else, obviously, like outside of them, like having someone to have a more intense
Mm.
relationship with outside of Gon, I think that's really interesting. I think that works. I think everything they did with it was
I
very
I kind
interesting.
of wish that it was just someone he would get to know during those events, that it wasn't some like, because he's basically like he's rediscovering locked away memories anyway, so it's not like he's building on anything previous in the show. At that point, let's introduce a new character who's actually new and have him like prove that he's gotten
I mean,
somewhere
but
in his
she is
ability to
kind
like
of
build
effectively new
relationship and trust
anyway.
people.
Is your only
Yeah,
hang
yeah,
up with
but
the
like
is your
just
only
at
hang up
that
with
point,
it
which is
the contradiction that oh it's
yeah, it's bullshit. It just doesn't make sense to me. But like, but like all of this, it only bothers me because of the other major issue with the arc, which is that it's just not. It doesn't do anything fun or interesting other than Leo Rio punching that one guy. Like that is like the one oh
I
snap
mean,
moment of that
I
whole
would beg
like.
to differ. I think his interaction with his dad is very interesting. I think
I think it's fine, but it also is underwhelming. It like we had this discussion too previously, like the like thematically and from like the character writing aspect, it makes a lot of
I mean,
sense.
here's the thing,
But it
even if you
isn't
find it
that
underwhelming
cool.
thematically, it fits that it's underwhelming. That's the whole point is that it's
Yes, it
underwhelming.
is. I know. I know. That still doesn't make it that fun though. And what's the problem with it is that it's such a long arc and so little awesome shit happens in it that all of these small things that stand out to me become like these massive issues in my head because I'm spending so much more time thinking about it. Like the obvious meme is like grandma turns into a motorcycle, right? And that's bullshit and stupid and not fun and lame and ugly. But that would never have mattered to me if what she did as a motorcycle was fucking cool. But it wasn't. It was just a thing that happened, and then it wasn't that interesting anymore. It was just a thing she did because she could. Um, all of that, like I remember the only thing that like stands out in my mind about that whole arc of like the like it's like 30 plus episodes is that yeah, conversation with Gin was cool for Gon, and that was a good conclusion to an arc. Fine. And Lyria punched the dude, and it was really fucking cool.
I mean,
And that's literally it.
listen, I'll be the first to admit that I definitely think that I definitely feel like Chimera Ant, in a sense, is kind of Togashi's like magnum opus, in the sense that
Mm.
I definitely think that he was a little bit creatively drained after that, and I think it does definitely reflect in his work in some sense. I'm also
Mm.
willing to grant that I might be biased and I might be overly sympathetic, and hence why I do have the opinion that I do of the Alaka arc. I'm not saying that that's not the
Mm.
case at all. I do think that it has merits. I do think that there there's a valid answer in there. It might be a little bit illogical. It might be a little bit emotional. I do think that it works though. But what I will say is that uh, like I don't know. I just think that it's fine. I will say also that part of the reason that part of the thing that makes me like Hunter x Hunter though isn't just like the writing and all that stuff too. Even though all that stuff is like 10 out of 10, I do think that it
Mm.
is literally just Madhouse is just like the best. I just think that a lot of it is just like
They
Madhouse is
popped
the
off with
best.
that production. They absolutely popped off. I'll say this. Another thing that like maybe affects it a little bit for me is that I actually read the manga for Hunter x Hunter all the way up to where the thing with Gon happens in the Chimera Ant arc. Like the big scene where the hair goes floaty up in the sky and there's like the big moment, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the manga was at hiatus when I hit it. So I didn't actually consume it anymore for like 8 years, and then I watched the anime from start to finish. So I think that the Aluka arc being like the only part of Hunter x Hunter that I've exclusively experienced in anime, uh, also plays into my distaste for it because it felt so cheap, and I sort of like in my mind, I think it just ended up feeling like Naruto filler. Because I mean, I've seen all of Naruto and I'm scarred, right?
Yeah,
And
and again, that might be, and
that's
I
personal.
still hold that this is one of the better way. See, anytime that I sense something big and important coming up in terms of
Mm,
media consumption like this, I
mm,
get really intense about it. Like it's short-winded, but it is very
mm,
intense. Like the way that I watched Hunter x Hunter originally was that in like it must have been like 2014 or something. Whenever the show ended,
mm.
I had a buddy in high school because I got out in 2014, right? And he was like, "Yo,
You had
Hunter,
friends in high school? Jesus Christ, you're like a real person.
yeah, yeah, yeah." He was like, "Yo, Hunter, there's this show, Hunter x Hunter, dude. There's like this ant guy. He's crazy. He kills a bunch of people. Like you should go
Mm,
watch it. It's insane." And then I watched like 2 episodes and I
mm,
like dropped it. And I dropped it for like 4 fucking
mm.
years. And then I was just really intensely bored, and I was like really wanting to get back into anime. And this was like slightly, or not even slightly. This was quite a few months before I joined Digicord. But I was like, all right, well, that was the thing. I guess
I
I could
think
try that. I watched.
looking at the timeline, I think we watched Hunter x Hunter the anime at like the same like half year. That's pretty funny actually.
Yeah, I,
um,
I I swear to God, I demolished that show. I watched the whole fucking
Me too.
thing in like a week. I went through the whole,
Me too.
but
that's
I
how
didn't read
everyone
the
does it.
manga before. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, me
Yeah.
neither.
So
The thing is, but I did restart when I picked up the anime in 2018, and I did go from episode 1 to episode like 144 in like I think like a week and a half. It was like a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all the way through.
So I think I'll close this off here by explaining the only interesting I have to say about Hunter x Hunter myself, which is how I got to it actually, just like Edubs, which is back when I was still a shonen tard, only a like big fan of Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, all that good stuff. Attack on Titan, uh, Death Note. Anyway, Hunter x Hunter was always like over there in the background, and I always looked at it and like saw Gon with his um shitty mini shorts, green mini shorts, and I was like, I was an edgy teen. I was like, man, this is this is gay. This is gay. I'm not gonna watch that. And then
Oh my god.
yeah, it's very very cringe. I know. Um, and then and then I watched like a top 10 anime fights on YouTube or something like that. Um, and there was or like top 10 anime deaths or like I don't know, but there was at the end the number one was Netero. Where he like talks to Miriam and goes like, you underestimate the infinite potential of evolution of humanity, Miriam, king of the ants. And I was like, hold on a minute, this Frieza looking cell guy is an ant, and this like piqued my curiosity so hard that I had to watch Hunter x Hunter, just because
Yeah.
I just because it's a universe that could have ants looking like this,
Yeah.
and
It's a ride.
it just was so fascinating to me that I like immediately started it, and the next week I was over with it. I was done. I just
I have another take on Hunter x Hunter actually. And that is like my issues with early Hunter x Hunter are almost entirely correlated to the lack of fishing pole combat. I just wish he fucking smacked dudes with a fishing pole.
True.
Like I literally like when I first picked up the manga for Hunter x Hunter, I saw that it was called like Shonen Action Battle, and then I saw a dude with a fishing pole, and I was like, I need to fucking watch this shit. And he like used the fishing pole once. It sucks. I hate
Yeah,
that.
so
Shit. Smack him with a fishing pole.
so
True.
here's two very different points that I have about Hunter x Hunter. One that's related, one that's kind of not related. The one that's related is that I I definitely think that when Tagashi started Hunter x Hunter and he was getting through the earlier parts of Hunter, like maybe like halfway through part 1, I definitely feel like part of it was created with um it's very much like a 90s feeling type shonen, right? Like it feels very um
Dragon
It doesn't
Ball.
feel very different. It doesn't feel very different
yeah,
from
like
his
he gets on
Yu Yu
this
Hakusho stuff.
stupid ass like 1400 ship, even though they have laptops, and he fucking
Yeah.
sails to this thing and he does like a fucking big exam, and there's like a fucking clown with magic. Like it feels very 90s. And
Yep.
I think that was
It feels a lot like Karakuri Circus, actually.
yeah, like it feels like he went into it with the mindset of, oh god, I just did Yu Yu Hakusho and now I need to do another thing and I need it to also be popular, so I'm gonna try to make something that's like mass appeal. And then like once he realized
Yeah.
that it was gonna be popular, then he started thinking about like, wait, hold on, people are gonna like a lot of people are actually gonna read this. This needs to actually be like I need to put all my best ideas into this. And like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and
like if you've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, then you know that after Dark Tournament, they go into an arc where there's a whole subset of new enemies that essentially have like territories where they have fields of influence in which they have unique powers that they can push, and the characters that
Hey,
have
it's like
typically
Jujutsu
so
Kaisen.
far been getting by on just shonen power leveling up and up, they now have to deal with different
Yeah.
unique circumstances, and you can definitely see like the gears turning and him getting into nen and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So
so you know, a lot of people like to shit on Hunter x Hunter for the reasons that it's so different from at the start and then becomes something so completely different at
I mean,
one
that's one
point.
of the coolest things about it.
Yeah,
though.
and I'm like, but so I have this kind of like this vendetta, not vendetta, but like this. I feel like redcons get a bad rep.
Yeah.
Like
They
redcons
do.
can be really fucking good. It's not because
Yeah.
you fucking inserted something in your story after something else just to make it
Mhm.
better. Actually, to make it better, that it's a bad writing trick. No,
Yeah.
you
It's
just
like
made
it's
your
like with the
story better.
going back to One Piece, right? That's basically my take on hockey. Is that like I agree, hockey was not intended from the start, but god fucking damn it, if it wasn't so fucking cool. Like you don't have to pretend that he intended it from the beginning. Just admit that he didn't, and look at the fact that he
Exactly.
created a logical power system halfway through a 24-year manga that he could connect to like 16 points of time earlier in the manga that could be logically explained by hockey in retrospect.
Who's
Wait, my
getting
fucking alarm.
cold?
That's my alarm clock telling me to wake
oh
up for
god,
work this morning.
Nyard's gonna fucking post scuff 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 now. Fucking water's alarm
Dude,
went off.
because I open up school, so it's like it's 3:30 a.m. for me right now, right? So it's telling me to wake up to open school up for a morning shift. Sorry. So the fact that Oda could like look at like 12 years of manga and be like, this is a moment of unexplained, this is a moment unexplained, this is unexplained. How do I make a power system that explains all of these things and solves the issues I have with balance of my devil fruit system and will be sustainable for the next 12 years?
Yeah, it's just
Hockey is
really
fucking
smart.
genius.
Yeah.
So like, it's not a hack thing just because it's a fucking retcon. It's a genius retcon that saved the story.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Agreed.
So good.
just like the second point about the completely tangential point that I wanted to throw out about Hunter x Hunter is that
Neferpitou is really hot. That's mine. And also, Miriam is like one of the best characters of all time. That's
so
my other one.
I was gonna say something about Miriam's footing. I really think it's funny, and this is kind of like a personal thing, but so like one of the biggest reasons that I love Gurren Lagann is because the time that I watched it, I was a very introverted, negative, nihilistic teenage type person, right? And so that show really opened me up to like thinking about things in like a positive way, right? And being like, you know, productive and like kind of extroverted in my life, you know.
Becoming a dude weed bro.
Yeah, becoming
It's actually really funny.
Yeah.
The only country, like Gigag recently did a no, it was the Anime Man. He recently did a video where he was going over malstatistics by country. And the only country where Gurren Lagann is the most popular and well-respected anime of all time is America. And I understand that, because Gurren Lagann makes me want to go USA,
True.
USA.
True.
And I'm not even American.
But I just think it's funny because like, then you get to like, it's just funny because like that came first, and then Hunter x Hunter came later, where you have Meruem being like, listen, old man, you're pretty sick, right? You're kind of a fucking badass, but like I'm just like the evolution of my species, and therefore like
I'm the peak of evolution.
you cannot beat me. And then like fucking Netero comes back and he's like, listen, bro, that's cool, but nukes though. Like we like the thing about humans, right? It doesn't matter how strong.
That's cool, bro, but
you can
feel the power of the human race.
You can be Mr. Cell ripoff man. You can be Mr. like Master Race. I'm the god of my species man. But like, dude, we've been around for a minute. We're not going anywhere. You can fucking bring anything at us. We're just gonna nuke it, bro. Like, get fucked, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, we're just the most awful, immoral fucking species, and we'll just
Is
kill
that
anything that gets in our way.
Yeah.
Holy
shit! Is that your favorite moment in Hunter x Hunter?
It's probably
moment?
one of my favorite.
It's
Probably.
mine. I will easily. It's mine.
My favorite moment. I'll say this. I think this is of it. I'm like way more into character narratives than I am into grand thematic story structures, in general. And I think this says something about me, that my favorite moment in Hunter x Hunter, and this is not that controversial to take. It's a very popular moment, but it's just Kurapika versus Uvagin.
Yeah.
And I think Kurapika versus Uvagin is the best fight in anime history. Because of all the things that meant for those two characters and how the fight played out fit perfectly. Everything about it was perfect.
It's very much like the anime version of kind of like a fucking of almost kind of like a Western type deal almost. It's like the shonen anime version of like I'm just a badass out here with my fucking motives, and you're here to take revenge on me, and we're gonna fucking duke it out type thing.
Yeah.
Yep, and that is just like I probably overspoken of saying that's my favorite fight ever in anime, but it's like way up there, right? Like
it's a good one. It's a good one.
It's fan fucking. I mean, I can probably say that because most of my favorite anime don't have fights. Fuck it. Like my favorite anime are like Fooly Cooly, Ping Pong, and Tokyo Godfathers. They don't punch anyone in those. Like in Ping Pong, I guess they have tennis fights, but it's not the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, but it's not the same thing.
There's a very specific aesthetic of like gladiators or like cowboys or like samurais where it's like we're just like these like completely rugged, trained for combat individuals, and we have our own ideologies and motivations, and we're just like in this like desolate place that's like just filled with death, and we're just gonna like duke it out for our own reasons. Dude, it's so
God,
sick.
you made me think of something really sad, and it's Gundam Age, because the first arc of Gundam Age is like this character is like really vengeful against the other people, the other faction, but like at the end of the first arc ends with like them exterminating the big military base of the enemies, and there's like, and that guy who's really vengeful like kills the general, like he shoots him, and then the son of the general walks in the room, and he's like, "What the fuck? You just killed my dad, right?" And like he takes the son, and he looks at him in the eyes, like, and he's like, "Listen, you will now live your life how I have lived mine." Like in like the most vengeful thing, right? Like all your life will be about vengeance from now on, and like this, what you've seen now will dictate your whole entire life from this point onward. And it's like really striking moment, and like Gundam Age at that point was at the peak of its fad. Like interesting it was, but basically, and
Yeah.
it sort of slowly went downhill from there. But like, for example, that kid grows up and out of nowhere comes out and assassinates that guy as soon as he comes out of prison, and then gets killed himself. And like, there's no arc at all. Like, but like that in that moment, it was really fucking cool, and it made me think of that. It's just like this badass who like has his own agenda and will have someone come after them, like for vengeance or something. But of course, Gundam Age fucking drops the ball.
Yeah.
Guys, there is one anime I want to talk about. If it's okay to just cut in here. It's an anime that I've been trying to get people to watch for like 4 years. And the only guy I ever managed to make watch it was Miki. Because Miki is like... He's like me in that he appreciates things for the pure power level. Right? Like, I've seen this, you haven't, mohaha. That kind of shit is fun, right?
Right. I do that as well. That's also one of the other reasons why I watch Mazinger.
It's like I meme a lot about my power level, but like I just genuinely find it funny to like talk about like I've seen this weird ass show from the 90s that was strange. I've seen this fucking I fuck my computer hentai from the 90s and I've listed on Mao and no one else knows about it. I know about Butobi, like that kind of shit. It's not serious, but it's funny to me. It's like great.
Yeah,
right?
same.
And the ultimate trash funny power level show to me is this old ass isekai called Those Who Hunt Elves. Those Who Hunt Elves, Elfu Mono Okaru, something like that. It has a fucking Japanese title too. I don't fucking remember it. Those Who Hunt Elves is a terrible experiment of early isekai. I think it was like late 80s or like mid 90s, somewhere around there. And it's just about a karate dude, a Oscars-winning actress, and a high school girl with guns in a tank. No connection about why these things are things. It's just that those were the characters they wanted to write, right?
And the tank? The tank or in a tank?
The tank? No, she has a tank, and she can drive it.
Okay.
And she also has a giant handgun, and is a military trained. She's like a weapons expert, but she's a high school girl. And then there's like Junpei, who's like a big karate dude. He's like the dumb Goku guy, right? And then there's just an Oscars winning actress who always wears like clothes out of Hamlet, right? They get isekai to a fantasy world for no explained reason. And what happens is that instantly they find an elf who can help them get back to their world with a spell book. And she's like the high priestess of all the elves. But during the ceremony to send them back, Junpei like sneezes or like fucks something up or like falls over or something like that, and it's like startles the elf priestess, who like drops the book with the spell to bring them back, and all the runes from the book just fly out across the world, and they become tattoos on these elf ladies, right?
What the fuck?
So now, in order to go back to their own world, Junpei, the actress, the military high school girl, and also the elf priestess, the highest elf in the land, have to go out on a journey to find elves across the entire fantasy world, strip them naked to see if they have a tattoo, and take the tattoo back for the spellbook if they have it. But like the point is, those who hunt elves means that they are those who hunt elves because they go around stripping elves against their will for the greater good of them getting back to their world. So this show is bullshit. It's complete, utter trash. And the first season goes like you'd expect this show to go. But in the first season, they end it. I'm going to spoil the whole first season because it's not why you got to watch the show. You don't watch the show for the fucking plot. So I'm going to talk about the plot, right? What this show has is that it's really episodic. And every episode has like a really fun core idea of like, because no one who made this show cared about it, even a little bit. They were just like, we hate making this show. It's complete garbage. And we're going to do random ass shit. Okay? And they keep like solving plot contrivances that didn't need to be addressed. Like, why do they have toilet paper in a fantasy world? They fucking have an episode all about explaining that shit. And they go ham. They're like, oh, there are these bears that live on a mountain called Toilet Paper Mountain, and they eat leaves and shit toilet paper rolls. And so, to find an elf and a tattoo, we must climb Toilet Paper Mountain, finding all of these bears, like shoot them with our giant tank, and like we must kidnap a bear so that we can feed it leaves and just have toilet paper during our journey, so that Junpei doesn't get an ass rash and gets sour because he's like dealing with this bullshit, right?
Would you say this would make for a good bad anime night?
Oh yes, this would make the best. It's 2 seasons of this bullshit. The first season is weaker because it's not quite as out there. The second season they go that's where the toilet paper episode is. Like they fucking go, they go balls through it. But you still gotta see the first season to really get it, right?
Yeah.
Also, this show has like a complete reset between seasons. That is the most, like, if you hate bullshit, you'll love this because it's so bullshit. It's amazing. Like, it doesn't have like the scuff production of something like Garcia's Wing, but for me, just from a pure like writing standpoint, it's like Garcia's Wing level. Even though it doesn't have like this crazy, insane, what is even going on aspect to it.
All right.
It's fantastic. It's
consider it. Yeah. I'll consider it. Maybe I'll.
Those who hunt elves.
Maybe I'll see if I can put it on the band chart and we can get it.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
It's not just a recommendation for you guys. Like if you're watching this, anyone, just fucking watch this show. Give it the 24 episodes. Mow that lawn, and you'll have a great anecdote. You'll have a great anecdote.
Mow that lawn so we can go Dragon Force in the voice chat.
Hell
Everyone
yeah, dude.
together.
It's amazing.
All right. We're almost at 3 hours. Do we want to...
I beat Tangelo! Fuck you, Tang! I win! You thought you could fucking keep going forever. I
only
kept
got away
going
with the shit
forever.
because we were drunk.
I'm not drunk. I've been sober.
No,
you
you
know what I've been
weren't
doing?
drunk, but I was drunk. And I'm the guy that mentioned it.
Dude, like... This first of all, I'm sleep deprived as fuck, right? Because I haven't slept for since my alarm went off, 24 hours now. And during this whole podcast, I've been drinking Coca-Cola Zero like a madman. And since like an hour and a half ago, I've had this burning desire to pee to the point where my bladder is like about to explode. Like I am scared to stand up because I think at the moment I stand up, I'm gonna wet myself.
God, I do that all the time in voice chat. It's just keep talking instead of go pee. I don't know why I do it, but
so. I don't mind ending the podcast here.
Yeah. Let's just wrap this up.
I got to go on. I got to tell you why Digicord's been shit since 2017. I got to tell you that both of your favorite anime have flaws.
My favorite anime is Sinful Gear.
Okay, but Utna was the thing too, and fucking
You
almost killed me over. You almost killed me over fucking.
It's true, but you know that's Miki's thing.
Yeah.
Utna is in my top 10. It's in Metro Gravity, but you know it's not Sinful Gear.
Well,
it was Evergarden, right? Like that was the thing you almost killed me.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna have either just you or you and Tang back at the same time at some point. So. Yeah.
Tang knows how to keep a rein on me. He gets me to shut up a bit more. I'm very talky. I can. He knows what's right on the podcast. I can fucking just keep.
Yeah,
talking.
it's based. That you apologized earlier for basically quote unquote talking over me the whole podcast, but to be honest, I didn't think it was like that at all.
That was based. That was based, and Njard's going to do the same next week, so I'm excited as well.
I'm very excited as well. This gave me lots of time.
I've never heard Njard's voice. I'm excited to listen to it.
Well, here's what you can do to hear Njard's voice. Watch Sinful Gear, and then listen to the podcast we've made, me, Miki, and Njard together on Sinful Gear.
Miki fucking deleted my episode!
I know! Miki
bitch!
is fucking retarded!
Dude, do you know what that episode was so based? I fucking went ham on Miki, exposing his ass as a motherfucker who doesn't respect Kodo no Wodo as like one of the best fucking girls do nothing shows of all time.
Sora no Woto? Yeah.
Yeah, Sora no Woto, right. I was like going ham on him, like this show is better than you fucking think, you little fucking bitch. I was going in on him, and then I had like this amazing rant about fucking Patema Inverted and the robot show that they did at the same time, the fucking Eve no Yikan, and how they're like, this director has like made these two things and it's like really unique, and he's really not worked on that much else, and you can kind of see some things, and I fucking did my research for that shit. I went ham for an hour and a half, and the motherfucker deleted it.
He deleted 7 episodes. Let's just let that sink in, everyone. Miki is just...
He deleted my best rant of all time.
And Okay, he'll have to defend himself next time he comes on, or just in the Discord. But Miki, just tell people what happened there, because it's a funny story, and we like to meme about it. But and you like to meme about it as well. That's why you keep your numbering going, even though you deleted all the first episodes, and like you even skipped episode like 8. It goes 8-10 because you didn't post one of the episodes with your brother. Whatever, Miki. It's okay.
Miki!
We love you. But yeah, let's wrap this up.
My
now.
neighbor's gonna hate me. My neighbor's gonna absolutely hate me.
All right.
I'm screaming at the top of my lungs.
I'll
in
go
an
ahead
apartment
and get my.
at 3 at night.
I'll go ahead and get my usual thing over with. Watch Hunter. Play fighting games.
Don't
Play fighting games.
play Smash Brothers casually for fun with a friend and never touch any
Play
other
fighting games. Fuck you, Whatta. And
Read Spirit Circle.
yeah, read Spirit Circle. I'm excited. I'm gonna read that. If it's only 6 volumes, I can probably get through it pretty quick. I'll tell you what I think about
Read it and then talk to Herpes about it in Ohio.
I'll talk to you and
Herpes is like
about
the
it.
Spirit
I'll make a
Circle
big
guru.
post about it.
Yeah,
I'll be sick.
Yeah, I love it, but he's the guru.
Base.
Read Girls Last Tour and
True.
listen to Godspeed and watch Symphogear. Goodbye.